425-451-2020. That's 425-451-2020 or online at sharp-vision.com, sharp with an e-vision.com, official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Steel, walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Stay informed and entertained with Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
There's going to be a lot of audio. We're going to laugh at most of it because if you
have you seen The World lately?
Well, if you did anything else, you'd be crying.
Jake and Spike, weekdays noon to 3 on KIRO Newsradio.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Get ready for Cinco de Mayo with Total Wine & More, your cocktail central. From margaritas to cervezas and tequila, we've got everything you need for the perfect fiesta. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said today that the ongoing tariff showdown with China is unsustainable, and he expects a de-escalation in the trade war. Linda Kenyon is at the White House.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president is optimistic about a deal.
We feel everyone involved wants to see a trade deal happen, and the ball is moving in the right direction.
Secretary Leavitt told reporters the president and the administration are setting the stage for a deal with China. In the meantime, while many of Trump's tariffs are paused for 90 days, Leavitt says the White House has received 18 proposals from more than 100 countries that say they want to make a deal. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Starting next month, the Education Department says student loans that are in default will be referred for collections. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly paid back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans?
More than 5 million borrowers are in default. Some of the nation's top academic leaders are joining forces to battle the Trump administration. More from Michael Wallace.
In a joint statement, more than 100 college and university leaders criticize what they call the unprecedented government overreach and political interference now endangering American higher education. Yesterday, Harvard sued the Trump administration, accusing it of illegally freezing $2.3 billion of its federal funding. Northwestern University professor Elizabeth Schachman-Hurd is optimistic.
We've seen Harvard fighting back, MIT, Stanford is stepping up. I think the tide is starting to turn.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The State Department's about to undergo a massive overhaul, shuttering bureaus and laying off workers. Spokeswoman Tammy Bruce said the department is bloated and bureaucratic.
The sprawling bureaucracy created a system more beholden to radical political ideology than advancing America's core national interests.
The World Health Organization chief acknowledged today that U.S. funding cuts have left the UN agency with a huge budget gap. It's being forced to slash operations and lay off staff. In Rome, the Vatican has announced the funeral for Pope Francis will take place on Saturday. CBS's Seth Doan.
On Friday evening, they'll put a veil over his face. They'll close the coffin. Inside the coffin go some coins dated from when he was Pope, from during his papacy, and also some of the documents, a little story of his papacy. That's part of this great tradition that we're seeing unfold.
On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow Jones Industrials are up 993 points. This is CBS News.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
An update on a series of home invasions that targeted the greater Seattle's Asian community. But first, From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Seattle, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on I-5 southbound near Northeast 45th Street. You are a little slow from the U District to North Gate, but it's having little to no impact on your travel time of about half an hour. Construction has you backed up on State Route 18 from I-90 to the Tiger Mountain Summit. Near Easton, I-90 is fully blocked due to a collision, and the North Cascades Highway State Route 20 has reopened for the season. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Through April, Lake Washington Windows is paying your sales tax, plus giving you 18 months to pay for them. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch.
She was a very real person who was both deeply loved by her family and her community.
The granddaughter of a Tenino woman whose murder we're learning new details about. Her handyman is the prime suspect. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Thurston County Coroner Gary Warnock says 82-year-old Marcia Norman was kidnapped, tortured, then murdered.
I've been with the coroner's office for nearly 25 years, and this is the worst case I've witnessed.
Investigators say they found Norman's body under a shed that the suspect, Jeffrey Ziz, built the day after her disappearance. Ziz is now back in Washington, arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and murder. A judge ordered Ziz be held without bail. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A 28-year-old man has been sentenced to nearly 6.5 years in prison for a series of armed home invasion robberies that targeted members of Seattle's Asian community. Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
This individual pled guilty to not only unlawful possession of a firearm and 2 counts of burglary, but also hate crime for the intentional targeting of these Asian households.
28-year-old DeMarcus Pate pleaded guilty to hate crimes and other charges. Seattle's Garfield High School community is mourning the death of a student. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch says a vigil was held there last night.
18-year-old Salvador Granillo was a much-loved student at Garfield High School. KIRO 7 is reporting that Granillo was at a party Sunday in Yakima and got into an argument with a 21-year-old who allegedly pulled a gun and fired. Faculty member Michelle Reese calls it a real tragedy.
And looking at the students' faces, they want answers. We don't have any.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
This is Special Election Day in Washington State. You'll be voting on local measures and races depending on where you live. This includes things like money for fire departments and school districts. Your ballot must be postmarked by today, or you can put it in a ballot drop box by 8 tonight. High honors for Seattle Mariners utility man Dylan Moore.
Goodbye, baseball, Dylan Moore. A leadoff home run here in the top of the first inning.
Moore was named the American League Player of the Week. He's hit 3 home runs in 6 games. The M's begin a 3-game series today against the Red Sox in Boston. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 54 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday to you. It's Tuesday, right, Spike? It is Tuesday.
Button on, words out. It is. It's Tuesday. It's Mike on day.
That's Spike O'Neill. Yeah. I'm Jake Skorheim.
Happy Election Day.
Is it Election Day? Special
Election Day. That's right, buddy.
For all these special people out there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. It's a great, beautiful day out there. I don't know what it looks like in your neck of the woods, but right here in Seattle, it is bright and sunny and shining. I woke up to sunshine this morning.
Gorgeous morning.
I hope we're going to bed with sunshine. It's a beautiful day. And the forecast looks great. This is my life now. I just check the forecast all the time.
What a great existence.
Isn't that nice?
That's the only troubles you have. Is it going to be great today? That's wonderful. Yeah, don't we all wish?
Life is good. That's my number one concern.
Yeah, it is.
What's the weather going to be like? I mean, I've got other concerns, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, but we're so blessed. We're so blessed, buddy.
Very fortunate.
Oh, my gosh.
Lots to talk about. You know what? I'm going to read you a text. I got a nice text from a friend of mine.
Okay.
You decide if it's nice. I don't know quite how to take it.
Oh.
We do a YouTube page now. We do Jake and Spike Show YouTube page where we do it live. We broadcast it live, but then you can also go back and you can watch it because that was a big thing that everyone was asking. Said, we love the podcast, but and it's fun to listen to, and it changed our lives, whatever. Your words, not ours. And they said, but it'd be great if we could see your faces and we could watch the whole show back again so we could relive that experience that we're getting live. We could relive it any time of night.
Sometimes you got to see this to believe it.
Absolutely.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah, 100%. So we have this YouTube page where as soon as the show ends, cuts off the 3 hours, sticks it over there on YouTube. You can watch it. You can send it to your friends. You can subscribe.
You got to meet the people where they are.
Got to meet the people where they're at.
That's what it's all about.
And they're all on YouTube, apparently. So check that out.
We got them all here at the terrestrial radio station, right? Your good old-fashioned radio.
Yeah.
And then some folks are able to enjoy the program at their own leisure time on their schedules. Boom.
On YouTube.
We're there.
Because it's
there
about
for
you.
Yeah.
We're here for you. And that's why we're on that YouTube. So I got this text from my friend Paul. I hope he doesn't mind that. I mean, if you send anything to me.
Allegedly, Paul. Could be Steve. Could be a guy named Fred. Could be anybody.
This is Paul.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, I want people to know it's Paul.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to say his last name.
Trying to help him out here.
I'm trying to. It's not really putting somebody on blast. I'm just going to read a text.
Okay.
He says, Jake, I don't like to pay out compliments as a rule. That's nice. That's a good way to start. I don't like to pay out compliments as a rule, but I've been watching the show on YouTube and I can't seem to turn it off. It's infectious, like a disease, but good. Which to me is, I don't know.
That's a little backhanded, but loving.
He could have just ended it at it's infectious. I would have gotten the point. He didn't need to say like a disease. That suggests it's a negative
it's hard to get rid of. That's what it means, right? It's
sticks around.
Yeah.
Like a herpes or something. Yeah. That's what we're like, and we're like a good disease, and we hope that you catch it too.
Yeah.
And we hope that you enjoy us on YouTube. We're spreading. All right, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, it's all
That's
good.
Paul. That's my buddy Paul.
That's so Paul. What a classic Paul.
Types of friends that I have. Nice guys. Real nice guys. A lot of stuff to talk about. Taxes. Did you see this?
How could you not?
These taxes?
How could you? Well, the session came due.
We go to bed.
Yeah.
One way. We wake up in a new world.
Yep,
we wake up in a new world, and that's the way it works out. And if you're ever wondering if lawmakers in Olympia are doing the right thing or are proud of what they're doing, look at the clock. And if it's after midnight that some of these things are passing, you have to question in your head, like, why is it happening in the dark of night? Like my dad used to say. He said, Jay, anytime I'd want to, did you have a curfew when you were a kid?
Oh, of course.
You had a curfew.
Yeah, and I think your dad got the same memo. My dad, the same talking points.
Which was
My dad
what?
got nothing good happens after
For whatever
10, 12.
whatever time they want to stick in there.
At first was nothing good happens after 7:30.
Yeah.
Go to bed. And then it was
I can
good.
tell you as an adult,
right.
some good stuff.
After then it was nothing good happens after 10, nothing good happens after midnight. Finally it was nothing good happens after last call.
Yeah.
Go home, get off the streets.
Nothing good is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Get out of here. But no, it's right. Nothing good happens after midnight. It's kind of the common one that I think people know, that old chestnut.
Because it's true. It hangs around because it's true.
And it is true. The older I get, the more I realize, like, you know what? I got to bed last night at 9:45.
Luxury. Oh,
and when I was a young man, I would have thought, like, that's a failure of a night. I've wasted half the day.
We used to go out at 11.
Of course.
Just go out.
Of course.
You guys about ready?
No, you start pre-funking at whatever time.
You betcha,
you
man.
leave the house at 10:30.
Yes.
You get to your destination by 11
Amateur
o'clock.
hour's over at that point. Now it's just the real players are out there.
The bar clears out of the people, the undesirables. Absolutely. Laura, what time do you go out when you go out? Or used to?
10.
10.
Yeah.
You leave the house
Leave
at
the
10.
house at 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Young person's game.
Ideally, the pregame
Insane.
is so fun that you lose track of time. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we have to get to the bars before they close.
That's your goal.
Yeah.
Your goal is to not make it to your destination.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, now that I'm creeping towards 30, yeah, that's increasingly the goal.
Okay.
To not have to leave the house.
Yeah. We've got alcohol here.
The goal is now.
And all people we know,
in
and a
this
clean
economy
bathroom.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
So I'm 41 now, and my goal is soft pants. Feeling good by, like, if I can feel good by 9 o'clock and I'm in bed by 9:45, that is
that's a life well lived.
That is just a
Really
perfect
is.
night.
It's a tribute to good
It is.
decisions.
Yeah, it's a tribute to good decisions.
Yep.
But it takes a while to get there. That's all right.
You got to break a few eggs.
Used to be chasing shots, now you're chasing the softest pants you can find.
Yes.
Oh, a drawstring. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, that beautiful drawstring. Fixes a lot of life sins, doesn't it?
It's forgiving.
Covers a lot of sins.
Yeah,
It
it
is
really
forgiving.
is. Yeah.
All right, so we have this beer tax. Let's talk about beer. Speaking of forgiving, and we're talking a lot about going out and things like that. There's this beer tax, and I say, I don't understand this. I mean, if you're going to tax things, you tax the most popular items. I understand they call it a sin tax.
They do, yeah, because it specifically targets, as you can tell, Jake and I had as many beers as we could prior to the show.
Yeah.
before this tax kicks in, it's getting more expensive. You tax the people who are directly affected by, the buyers, the users of that, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's beer, whatever it may be.
Cigarettes.
It doesn't spread that pain onto the non-users. These item-specific taxes focus because people then get to make the decision. Is it worth the additional funding for you to have the kind of fun? Can you afford to have the kind of fun you want to have?
I think you can make that argument for things like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Which I think are really, really harmful.
Sure.
I mean,
and you don't think
nobody ever died from alcohol. No, just kidding.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you're the funniest guy.
Obviously they did. Obviously they have.
And that's the thing. That these
No, but you know what?
These vices have impact on our society, and there's a cost to all of us.
There's a lot of people who use beer responsibly.
Absolutely.
I'm one of them.
I'm with you.
I enjoy the heck out of beer. I will talk about one of my favorite local beers.
The vast majority use it responsibly.
There's an entire industry, though. We have an amazing local brewing industry. We have all these microbreweries that do such good work, like national prizes, worldwide, international prizes they're winning because the beer here and the hops and everything, it's so good.
That's right.
They will be crippled by these types of taxes. There's two really big ones I'm going to talk about. This first one is, we saw this from the Washington Brewers Guild, sent out this thing. And House Bill, House Bill 2079 would basically add a massive tax to every single ounce of beer that is being produced in our state. That's already an industry that has pretty slim margins. I mean, like if you talk to anybody who's ever tried to get into the beverage industry, it's a very uber competitive, especially with alcohol. Alcohol is one of the most, if not the most competitive industry because you're fighting for shelf space.
Yeah, you bet.
You're fighting for placement. All these things.
It's very fickle. The next newest, latest is going to come along a pipe and drop you off the map.
I had a buddy who used to work at Pyramid Brewery. He designed same buddy who actually got me hired for the Sonics. He was like a design guy.
What a good guy to know.
Good guy to know, for sure. Absolutely. So he got me hired at the Sonics, and he was designing all their posters and stuff. And then he got poached by Pyramid Brewery, who then he was designing. They had a bunch of really cool designs on their bottles that were really neat.
It was artwork. Yeah, absolutely.
That was him.
And that's
fantastic.
That's part of the microbrew world. Is the packaging and the uniqueness of it.
But he was telling me that, like, man, like you were saying, it's such a fickle business. One day you're top of the mountain, and the next thing you know, Blue Moon comes in.
Or they're drinking something called
out of the
Dogfish out of Delaware. How the hell how does that fight for shelf space around here?
The thing that sucks though is
good beer. That's why.
Because it is a good beer. Yeah. But the thing is, like, you have these massive, giant corporations who can afford these things. Like you have Anheuser Brewery.
Remember when they came in and bought Red Hook and Ballard?
Yeah, and now
Fremont, I should say Fremont. Yeah, they ruined it.
Or the one in what was the brewery out on the east side that's now gone? I think it was Red Hook.
Yeah.
That's that used to be a really cool facility.
Yeah, then became Anheuser-Busch, brought to you by people who don't care.
So you're harming these small local microbreweries who are providing not only are they providing really good product, but it's also a really good business for all the people who work for them.
Oh, they employ quite a few.
It's this it's a really big industry.
Yep.
When you add all the pieces together, it's a really big industry, and this thing directly will affect that. So listen to this. They put out some stats I think are going to be people are going to be surprised by. This is from the Washington Brewers Guild, who I think we're going to speak with maybe tomorrow or something. This new tax would add the equivalent of a 2% sales tax on every single beer sold, hitting consumers directly at tap rooms, bars, and grocery stores. The proposed tax, and this is the one that jumped out at me, and I think it jumped out at you too, Spike. The proposed tax would rank Washington number 9 nationally in beer excise tax burden, which is 7 times higher than Oregon and 4 times higher than Idaho.
That's the one that got me.
How do you even?
Yeah,
because it's really easy to just go. We had the story yesterday. Businesses who are saying, "Hey, the tax burden in Washington is killing me." Mm-hmm. It's not even a political thing. It's just the taxes are killing me. I can't keep doing business here. I'm going to go look for greener pastures.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, those are in Idaho or Oregon.
It's one state line away.
It's close.
Yeah.
You still have the Pacific Northwest vibe.
Yep.
Your clients, your customers don't really care where the beer is brewed
because that's and these Oregon and Idaho beers, which are taxed with 1/7 of the rate the Washington is, or 1/10 the rate Washington is.
What an advantage.
They get on the shelf next to the Washington beers, and they're much more affordably priced.
Sure.
They're great beers.
Yeah. It was a lot easier for them to give. I mean, it's not easy to run any business, but
no.
That's a hurdle that they didn't have to jump through. And now in Washington State, they're going to have to jump through these massive tax hurdles, which does that feel fair to you guys? It just doesn't feel fair to me.
It really, when they make it it's a 2%, only a 2% increase. It doubles the amount of tax that's already existing beer excise taxes in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
So it's a 100% increase in the number of taxes. That's a flashy number, 100% increase. It makes it an unfair playing field for Washington business owners, people who are trying to do the right thing. Lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Start your own business. Live the American dream.
Provide jobs.
Provide a benefit to your client, to your customer, a sense of community at the local brewery, local pub, local brew, tap room. And here comes the state. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
And the thing is, the state's stepping in and saying, we have mismanaged things so badly that we're $16 billion in debt. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to take that from you guys. You're going to help us fix that problem that we created.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to hurt your business. And a lot of these businesses, a lot of these microbreweries who are just trying to survive, because it really is like the first 10 years you run these businesses, you're not paying yourself. Like we talked about your friend who has a couple of restaurants.
5 restaurants, yeah.
And they work side jobs.
They do to keep the restaurants open as a service to the community.
Sure.
To help make sure that the 600 plus now employees that he has in his restaurants and catering business
keep
have
their
jobs.
checks coming in.
You bet. These little breweries, these microbreweries in Washington, they support local farms. They support food vendors, the tourism industry. All these ancillary people depend on this brewing industry in the state of Washington.
Yeah, so for them.
And here comes the state. One more dip. One more.
Here you go. Here's another tax for you. Can I highlight a beer that's? Do you drink beer? Are you a beer drinker?
I used to be.
Maybe used to be.
Used to be. I don't drink as much anymore. If I'm in Ireland, I'll have a Guinness.
There you go.
I love a good Guinness.
You had a Guinness shirt on yesterday.
I have a Guinness shirt yesterday.
The local beer that I'm loving, my favorite beer in the world right now. It's fantastic. Have you ever had Icicle Brewing Company? Have you ever had there?
At Leavenworth.
Alpenhaze is a beer that they have right now. You can notice it on the shelf. It has an orange can. I'm looking at a picture of it right now, just so I get all the details right for you. It's a 6.3% ABV, alcohol by volume, a 30 IBU. So on the International Bitterness Unit, it's actually not a super bitter.
Look at you. Yeah.
It's really nice.
My taste buds aren't that smart. They just know what they like.
Let me read this to you. Our signature hazy is a bright, tropical, and juicy IPA with Mosaic, Citra, Eldorado, and Simcoe hops, giving it notes of mango, pineapple, tangerine, and apricot that excite the nose and palate. The malt profile provides a body that ends each sip with a light and pillowy mouthfeel.
Mouthfeel. Oh, I love the mouthfeel.
Isn't that nice? That's what you want in a mouthfeel.
No, I can tell many times when we got riding the motorcycles, we'll pop over the mountain, we'll head up through Tumwater Canyon, into Leavenworth,
on that river,
stop at the Icicle Brewery, boom.
Perfect day.
Oh, yep.
But that's the kind of place that's going to be taking this hit. They're going to have to either pass it along to you, the consumer, which they will, and maybe in a town like Leavenworth where people are up there, it's touristy, maybe they'll be able to eat some of that cost and they're not going to notice it as much. But on the shelves, when somebody's sitting there staring at a beer and suddenly it's way more expensive, that's thanks to Washington State. And that hurts the brewery. They're not going to be able to produce as much. Suddenly the business doesn't look so good. And I just hope that I hope that they
and the people that count on that company. That's right, man.
It's horrible. All right, let me read you some other taxes. We can't just spend all our time on taxes
right now. So bad.
I know. Doesn't that sound so?
Sun shining. Spring's here.
I'm having one tonight. That's great. Alpenhaze. God bless you. God bless you, Alpenhaze.
God loves us. He gave us beer.
He does sure love beer.
Beer.
All right, let me read. We're short on time. I'm gonna read you some other taxes. See what you're interested in.
Yeah, this is the other stuff that came out. Like as you mentioned, nothing good happens after midnight. Why was the stuff all dropped?
And I'm not against all these things. Some of these, if they don't really affect me, then I care less about them.
And this is the nickel and dime, and the death by 1,000 cuts, trying to make up this budget shortfall.
Totally. Let me read you some of these. House Bill 2049 allows property taxes to increase. We thought this one just went away, but this one is kind of reintroduced in a new way. Same beast, sold differently. Wolf in sheep's clothing. This allows school districts to increase levies by like massive amounts, like 50%. Like local districts to increase school levies by 50%, which are funded by taxes on your house.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how you pay for schools.
Let's see, raising taxes on Zyn and cigarettes.
I can't argue with that one.
I'm not like
I can't argue with that. If you're going to choose to do that to your body, it's going to cost you.
I'm not going to.
Because it's going to cost the rest of us when you go need medical care.
I don't want to die on the hill of like defending cigarettes. So I won't.
You're dying on the hill of liberty.
Zyn. What about Zyn? Do you think the tax on Zyn? They're getting
It's a drug of choice. That's what it is.
But you're not getting the carcinogens. You're not smoking a cigarette. You're literally putting a tiny little thing in your lip, and you're just getting that nicotine punch.
Yeah,
a little bit of a minty flavor. I've never had Zyn, but I know
lip cancer is your decision.
I'm trying to defend it for my buddy.
I know. I love you, buddy.
Increase the gas tax by 9 cents per gallon. Boo! You just give me a yay or a boo on each one of these. So I'll just run through these really fast.
Okay.
Increase the Discovery Pass fee by 50%.
Boo.
Yeah, right? Why are we making it harder to get in the parks?
Right. Well.
Go enjoy the outdoors. Impose a new ticket fee for sporting events and concerts.
Another? Boo.
Boo. Increase hunting and fishing license fees, including for youth and seniors. You're gonna stop somebody from fishing with Grandpa because it's expensive.
Price Grandpa and Junior out of the game, out of the memories. Thanks a lot, State.
Thanks a lot. Is that a boo?
Boo.
That's a boo. Good.
Got a lot of
A 10-cent beverage container tax.
Beverage container tax? A paper cup tax?
I don't know. Beverage container, whatever that is.
Glass bottle tax? Aluminum can tax? Boo.
Increase the liquor license fee. Oh, this is a big one. Liquor license fee by 50%. So if you want to run a wedding venue or a tasting room or a place to go get your nails done and want to serve you some champagne.
50% increase in your licensing fees.
50% increase
How
in
are these
licensing
people
fees.
going? Thank goodness my kids getting married before this hit, and the venue went out of business.
How do these people sleep at night? Honestly.
On a pillow made of cash, our cash.
On a pillow made of tax.
Yeah, that's right.
Cash.
Beautiful soft tax cash.
There's like 15 more of these. I don't even have a chance to get to. We'll get to them later, but you're gonna hate them. I'm just boo, 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 boo. These are all boos. All of them boos. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We got some sports news we got to talk about next. A lot of home runs being hit. People are asking.
Right here by the local boys. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Also, the Kraken made a big change. If you're a hockey fan, we can tell you about that next.
One and done.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
KIRO News Radio, your home for the John Curley Show.
Do you take the money from the guy that made the money because somehow he doesn't deserve all of that money, and you give it to the government, and then they redistribute it to everybody? How is wealth created from that? It is never created. We are all richer because these people, they came up with some pretty cool ideas that we all benefit from. Most of these guys didn't set out to be billionaires. What they set out to do was solve a problem.
Find podcasts and more at mynorthwest.com.
From groceries to home prices, the cost of living in Washington state keeps going up. Now, Olympia politicians are proposing the largest tax increases in state history. Don't be fooled. If taxes go up, we'll all pay even more. Washington needs lower costs, not higher taxes. Tell the politicians no by visiting www.affordablewashington.org. Paid for by the people for an affordable Washington. Top 5 contributors are Washington Alliance for a Competitive Economy, Microsoft, Madrona, T-Mobile, and Amazon.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-371-0505. 800-371-0505.
Spring cleaning isn't just for clutter. Let Benjamin Franklin Plumbing take care of your appliances. From water heater replacement or repair to advanced water filtration installation, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is here to provide a worry-free summer for you and your family. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com to schedule. You can count on the punctual plumbers, where your comfort and safety come first. Book now. Visit BenjaminFranklinPlumbing.com.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
It may be the most noble profession.
Come on.
It's the work of heroes.
Heroes?
You want to live without plumbing?
Well, no.
Then you need plumbers.
Right.
Thing is, so do I.
You need plumbers.
Smiles, actually.
Smiling plumbers?
Or someone who smiles and wants to become an Apollo plumber.
A smile. That's what it takes?
Skills are something we can teach.
Sure.
But a positive attitude comes from within.
That's a big part of being an Apollo plumber.
The biggest part.
What else?
A desire to learn and serve.
Just like every Apollo plumber.
As they learn, so shall they earn.
Earn?
Apollo plumbers can earn 6 figures.
Enough to make me smile.
We believe you get what you give.
Give a smile.
And Apollo service.
Get a smile.
A well-paid smile.
Driving one of those big blue Apollo trucks.
That's the goal.
Does seem pretty noble.
It's important, satisfying work.
And you're looking now?
There's always room for another smile around here.
On the Apollo Plumbing team.
Apply at apolloplumbing.com.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
And we identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
The Puyallup RV Show, May 1st through 4th. 400 new and used RVs, plus manufactured homes. Over 1,000 floor plan options. It's your best chance to save all year. Browse the exhibits, chat with the experts, free parking. Tickets at PuyallupRVShow.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Hey, it's John Curley for Closets by Design. Our closets were a mess, so I called Closets by Design. They came in and did an exceptional work. Now, they're locally owned, and they've been operating for more than 2 decades. I love these guys. A family-run business with national backing, and they source almost all their products right here in Washington. Have Closets by Design come out and customize your closet. Right now, 40% off plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. 1-800-BY-DESIGN or closetsbydesign.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. With just 6 days left in the legislative session, it is crunch time in Olympia.
Whether you're a millionaire or you make minimum wage, this week will affect everybody.
KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich. He says lawmakers are looking to finalize plans to generate more revenue for the state.
The higher taxes on smokes. We have a gas tax that's being talked about. There's a 50% increase on all liquor licenses, hunting licenses, fishing licenses, the Discover Pass. All these little fees, all of them are going up.
It's all part of the effort to close a projected $16 billion budget shortfall as the state looks to spend a record amount. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio today unveiled a massive overhaul of the State Department with plans to reduce staff in the U.S. by 15%. More than 100 bureaus worldwide would be closed or consolidated as part of the Trump administration's America First mandate. White House spokesperson Carolyn Leavitt is talking about reports that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has again shared sensitive information about airstrikes in Yemen in a group chat.
The president stands strongly behind Secretary Hegseth in the change that he is bringing to the Pentagon.
Whatever Ms. Leavitt has to say, it doesn't seem to be that they're bringing about monumental change. They're just doing a bad job of running a very important organization.
That's Washington Congressman Adam Smith of the House Armed Services Committee. He tells CNN the first chat revealed details on what, where, and when airstrikes would happen.
If Secretary Hegseth doesn't think that that kind of information should be classified, then we've got a much, much bigger problem in that he doesn't fundamentally understand a key aspect of his job.
Smith, a Democrat, is calling for Hegseth to resign. A Western Washington woman who had a private audience with Pope Francis just months ago is remembering him.
He just was so humble. He just wanted people to pray for him as you and I would ask people to pray for us.
Vivian Shannon heads Fulcrum, a nonprofit that raises funds for Catholic schools in the Seattle Archdiocese. Rite Aid, again struggling. Bloomberg reports the pharmacy is preparing to sell itself in pieces as it faces a second bankruptcy in less than a year. Bartell Drugs was bought by the drug company in late 2020. Bartell's closed nearly 30 brick-and-mortar stores since being bought out by Rite Aid. On Wall Street, well, it's up on the possibility that trade tensions will ease. The Dow ahead 883 points. NASDAQ is up 326. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, near Lakewood, a crash has been cleared from I-5 northbound near State Route 512. You still have a bit of a backup from 96th Street east to South Tacoma Way. Travel time Olympia to Tacoma, about 5 minutes slow. Construction has you backed up on State Route 18 from I-90 to Tiger Mountain Summit. Near Easton, I-90 fully blocked because of a collision. Crews are working to clear a rock slide along Chuckanut Drive. That's State Route 11, halfway between Burlington and Bellingham. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag sales event's been extended through April 27th. America's Builder, drhorton.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 54 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Very excited to have Mike Lefko from 710 Seattle Sports joining us now. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. I feel like I'm the chaos agent. You know, something out of the ordinary happens. Like, oh, let's go get him.
Yeah. Something.
You know, I miss our just regular weekly chats, but I guess it's more exciting. It's newsworthy here, so we'll talk about it.
You know, there is some things to talk about in sports, but the reason we haven't had you on more is, you know, we do a lot of Seahawks stuff. We're really into the Seahawks. The Mariners traditionally have not been a team that I have been super excited about in years past.
It's also a long season.
It's a very long season.
Be tough to talk about every single day.
It would, because how many games do we have a week?
You have about 5 a week. 5 to 6, yeah.
And to be fair, Mike, the first couple weeks of the season wasn't a lot of great things to talk about.
You're right. Yeah,
you know, and you know, and you, I think you said it's a long season.
I was happy to have a break as well.
You know, shut up with the sell the team talk that we heard all over town after the first week of the season. You know, I mean, it's like people.
They're going to sell the team.
Oh, come on.
I didn't hear that talk.
Oh, there was lots of it out there.
Was that?
I spent a little more time on social media. Than you
That's what people were saying?
Oh, my gosh. People are morons.
Sell this team.
Oh, yeah. Stay off social media if you can.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't avoid
Everybody's
it.
an armchair GM on social media.
It is, it's an interesting place.
The Mariners right now are not doing badly.
They're doing well.
Second in the AL West. They're 12-10, right? Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. They're over 500. They've got a home run hitter on their team. Which is nice. Couple of home run hitters.
One big.
Yeah, actually, yeah. A couple. They're fifth in all of baseball in home runs, which is kind of crazy. And that's what's carried them.
Don't we have the league leader in home runs right now? Or like tied for the league?
Yeah. Cal Raleigh.
Tell us a little bit about Cal.
Yeah. Well, you know Cal Raleigh. Everyone knows Cal Raleigh around
here. He's a good dude.
He has been on an absolute tear lately, and it started with that Rangers series. So he hit 3 home runs in 3 games, and then he had the stretch where against the Reds, and at one point it was like 6 home runs in 6 games.
Yeah.
Because he had a multi-home run game. So he had a ridiculous tear. He always hits well against the Blue Jays, who they just played over the weekend.
He hit 2 yesterday.
Boom.
No, they didn't play yesterday.
No, he
hit
hit 4. Day before it. Didn't he hit 2 home runs?
Yesterday was an off day.
No, he had 1 home run on Sunday.
What am I reading here?
This was a couple days ago.
Did he have 2 home runs in 1 game?
Yes.
You are a Seahawk fan, aren't you? You really are.
I'm here to update you on all the news.
Why am I not getting the latest from 710 Seattle Sports?
Refresh.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's 2 days old. All right. Well, so he hit a couple, but he's still doing well, right?
Thank you. I feel important. Thank you, guys. I feel important.
He is a chaos
I appreciate
agent.
that.
Get off of my show, Mike. Making me look like an idiot.
No, I'm here to help.
No, I do that on my own.
Inform on the sports news. He's hit well, and then Randy Roserain has been really clutch, which has helped out a ton.
Question for you. Is Cal using the bat that everybody was talking about? The torpedo.
Yes, from the left side. No, from the right side. So he's a switch hitter. So when he bats left-handed, he uses a torpedo bat, and when he bats right-handed, he uses a different bat.
Interesting.
And
Was he a better hitter as a right-handed hitter?
No, he's better as a lefty.
Always?
He naturally is better, like power as a lefty. Yeah, that's
Okay.
his more comfortable kind of go-to spot, side of the plate.
That's interesting that he's using it on one side but not the
he
other.
actually, we don't have time for this because it's like a 10-minute
I'll be the
conversation.
judge of that.
Okay.
No, yeah, we don't.
Well, it's a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah, no, we don't.
But Cal Raleigh does like a weekly interview with our Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer, and it airs on our show, and then it goes up on YouTube and on our website. And he really went in depth explaining the differences in bats, which I had no idea the wood mattered so much. So his torpedo bat is a birch bat.
Mm-hmm.
He usually uses a maple bat. So he's getting one made for the right side, but it hasn't been like fitted. Remember we talked about this weeks ago with the torpedo bat? It's not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
So you have to
They're
get it to the specs, right, of the hitter. So Cal Raleigh found one he liked from the left side, but it's not the type of wood he usually uses. So he's getting one now made for the right side. And there's different reasons why, because of swing speed and because of the weight and because of it's too complicated for me to even figure out.
This is really.
I thought it was just the labels on the other side. I had no idea it was this in depth.
Yeah,
I didn't know either. There was a left-handed and right-handed bat. I would have thought that was a joke before.
I know it matters with gloves, but with bats.
Yeah. And the wood matters a big amount.
The wood, wood matters big time. All right, so the Mariners are doing pretty good, and the Kraken. Can we move on to the Kraken real fast?
Okay.
What's going on with the Kraken?
No, they're not doing very good.
They're not doing too great. They
were
very poor season. Now they're starting to fire people.
They fired their second coach in 2 years, so that's never a good sign. And it just seems kind of like a power struggle between GM and now president, promoted Ron Francis, to consolidate, to get out the coach that, he hired him, but then something wasn't going right, obviously, over the course of a year, so he wanted him out.
Do that to you. Yeah.
And then there's your scapegoat of, well, look, I didn't like what this coach was doing. It's not my fault. So, the Kraken are in
owners
tough
never
shape.
fire themselves. GMs rarely fire themselves. Coaches are always the guy that's on the block.
Coaches scapegoat. After one season especially, because the Kraken were not in good shape. Obviously, if you're firing a coach to bring in a new guy.
Right.
But if you're bringing in a new coach, you got to give him some time. I mean, the Seahawks hired Mike McDonald. They gave him a 6-year contract. That's a well-run organization.
Yeah, but you remember when Jim Mora was here
the
for
Kraken
1 year?
are dysfunctional. But not back-to-back coaches.
No, it's true.
So,
true.
That's true. That they didn't fire the next coach
and
after
they had a ton of injuries mid-season. The Kraken did. I mean, a lot of things went wrong. And then Billsma he's a minor league coach, right?
Yeah, and he was from their affiliate, too. So
and
it's not like they didn't know what they were getting.
Yeah.
That's why it's confusing. But now, you do have some new management at the top end. And really, at this point, it's kind of us or them of, hey, there are no more excuses, I would say, because you have promoted all your people. You're going to bring in your third coach in 3 years. So
is there any talk about who that might be?
Oh, no. I mean, this happened yesterday.
Yeah.
The coach got fired yesterday, and I think it came as a surprise to a lot of people. The Kraken just promoted all these guys.
Is this an attractive job in the NHL? I mean, it's really not.
I would say no.
Because unless you get somebody who's unproven, who's dying, will jump at any chance to be in the NHL.
Yeah, well, because they're an expansion team, so they don't have a long history.
Right.
They don't really have a track record of success. You had that one blip of a playoff year.
Yeah.
You have some enviable pieces and draft capital. That might be enticing to someone coming in. But I would be very hesitant if I'm a coach looking at this power structure and seeing, all right, well, the leash is kind of short here because they just fired a guy.
Are you a hockey guy? Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know hockey?
I love the Lightning, and they play tonight. First round of the playoffs.
Would you coach the team?
Would I coach the team?
Yeah.
Would
you
if you
could
could
for us, right?
I know somebody. I know somebody on the ownership.
Coaches get paid well. So.
They do get paid well.
I would do that. Yeah.
You would probably do it for less because you're excited for the opportunity. But you can coach that team.
I would gladly take whatever that pay cut is. It's still probably more, and get fired after half a season.
Just so you can say you were coaching the NFL.
Yeah, sure.
Which would be sweet.
Yeah.
And then if
think
all
about the gear you're getting too.
Yeah, you get all the
you
cool
get so
gear.
much cool gear.
Tickets to the game would be fun too. You can just pass
You're
those out to your
coaching,
friend.
so
no, you
wouldn't
pass
need
them
the
out to the
tickets.
people in your
That's
life
true.
that you love.
Yeah.
Also, if you somehow end up with a Stanley Cup, then you probably got the job the next year. I would guess.
I would think so.
Or you could go somewhere else if you wanted to. I think it would be a good idea. I think you should apply for the
trying
job.
to push me out of here?
No, I don't want you.
Not at all.
It would be cool to have you as an insider
I couldn't
coaching
come
the
on
team.
I couldn't come on the show anymore, though.
Wait a minute. See?
No.
Now what?
Now he's big time.
If
he
we
doesn't
get
have
you
the job yet, he's
you
big time.
wouldn't come in.
Yeah, we'd have to
show?
renegotiate our rates here and all that.
I'm actually not going to recommend him for the job now.
We just blew the first interview right here. Look at him.
You're right. I can't handle the pressure.
You didn't even know it. We were interviewing him for the job.
That first press conference scrutiny would not go well. So, yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be able to do it.
How'd you become a Lightning fan, by the way? I mean,
I lived in Tampa for 4 years, and they got good.
Yeah, there you go.
Right as I got down there, never was really interested in hockey until then. And it's like, oh, this is really fun, and this team is winning.
Stanley Cup
so
playoffs are pretty.
They're intense. It was so great when the Kraken were in it.
I'm much more an NHL playoff fan than an NBA playoff fan.
Yes.
NHL
it's never
hockey.
relenting intensity.
Yes.
There you go, Jake. Become a hockey fan.
All right, I will. I like the Silver Tips.
They're still playing.
Yeah,
We're playing Game 7 coming up.
Game 7.
Yeah.
I think Game 7 tonight.
Right on. Yeah.
Check it out. All right, that's Mike Lefkoe, 710 Seattle Sports. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
What do you think about the beer tax before I let you go, by the way? Good idea, bad idea? Additional beer tax in Washington?
To read up on it.
Oh, see, that's
I've been busy this morning. Yeah. We got to go
2
both
words
ways
is all you
here.
need to know. Beer tax.
Yeah,
good idea,
doesn't sound good.
Bad idea. Really bad idea. We protect beer here. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Remembering Pope Francis.
The Pope died this morning, a day after making his last public appearance on Easter Sunday.
Local reaction.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live outside St. James Cathedral in the First Hill neighborhood.
I've seen Son perform a sign of the cross. I just said some prayers right away.
When I think of the word humility, that is something that he fully embraced.
Coverage continues.
It's been 20 years since we've had the death of a reigning pope.
On KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hi, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. You know, these guys truly live up to their name, integrity. They do incredible work, incredible professionalism. They use the very best materials available. And they're a completely integrated roofing and construction company with an in-house design department, which means that when you call them out for a free estimate, they'll take a look at your roof, tell you what you need, what you don't need, and tell you how to make the little improvements to your home to give you the most return on your investment. Give Integrity a call today at 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF or online at integrityrc.com.
It's time. The new phase of premium view lots at Natchez RV Resort is open. Don't miss your opportunity to get first pick. Tig, tell us about it.
Our new phase features incredible extra-large RV lots with amazing unobstructed views. And talk about privacy, nothing will be developed behind them. And these lots start at just $80,000.
Natchez RV Resort has 300 days of sunshine and year-round family fun. Pickleball, playground, dog park, miles of recreational trails. Plus, you have fishing, hunting, skiing, and golf nearby. And don't forget wine tasting. Yakima Valley has been voted the #1 best wine region in the U.S.
Natchez RV Resort also features a 4,300 square foot clubhouse with gourmet kitchen, great room, fitness center, showers, and laundry. Plus, the brand new saltwater swimming pool and hot tub are open and ready for you.
Get your perfect pick of Natchez RV Resort's premium view lots, starting at just $80,000. Reserve your showing now. 800-422-6009. 800-422-6009. NatchezRVResort.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you looking at diversification and stability with your investment portfolio, especially with the volatility right now in the stock market? Hi, I'm Scott Riereka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given market conditions. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Legacy's Northwest Fund also accepts IRA accounts as well. Find out why over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Get in touch with us today. Legacy's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
I've always been an athletic guy, but after turning 40, I noticed I was slowing down. I booked a free testosterone check with Revive Health and learned that low T doesn't just impact my performance in the bedroom. I've been following a custom treatment plan ever since, and today I'm feeling stronger and more confident than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMensHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMensHealth.com/privacy policy. For info on how opt-in info will be used and terms and conditions at ReviveMensHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Bucky's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Bucky's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Bucky's.com for the location near you.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafi, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
Welcome back to the show. All right, if you guys have not yet seen this video, you absolutely should. It's super funny. What I want you to do, I actually typed in for your help. If you go into the YouTube page, you can just go into the chat area where we are right now chatting with folks, and you can use this as your search term, and you'll be able to find the video that I'm referencing. I'm going to play you the audio right now. Spike, have you watched this yet? You've seen this.
I have. This is Hall of Fame stuff here.
This is really one of those special moments that comes along once every blue moon, and I'm glad that we all get to be a part of it. This is really fun. So you watch this show from time to time. Do you see the clips on this? Do you watch it? Do you actually see the clips?
I mostly catch it in Afterlife, the clips that are posted, the highlight moments. Again, I'm not the hugest NBA fan since the Sonics broke our hearts.
Samesies.
You know, and I get it peripherally. I like watching highlights. But inside the NBA, which we're about to play this clip for you.
Yeah.
This is great entertainment, whether you're a basketball fan or not. This is just good. This is good personality-driven television.
So Shaquille O'Neal is very funny, and he's a massive individual. He's huge. I've had the opportunity to rebound for him a number of times, and I have a picture with him, and I basically come up to his kneecap. He's so massive. He's not only is he tall, he's just
he is a tree.
Giant man. He's a giant man.
Absolutely.
So to see him waddling off of the set because he's clearly having some sort of
explain. This is a live. This isn't like between takes when they go to commercials.
They're doing a live show.
Yeah.
You're sitting up there at the desk.
Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley, and they're sitting up there, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the conversation, Shaq stands up. And he's doing that thing where it's a signature look. You can see this when somebody's clinching their behind. And he's got
a little of an intestinal emergency.
Absolutely.
Kindest way to put that.
And he walks off the set, and you will be able to hear the audio of them making fun of him for it, which is very funny. But
it's not like the cameraman did him any favors.
No.
You know, I mean, to be fair, though, when you're 7 foot, 7'2", 7 foot, whatever he is.
He's a big boy.
And what, maybe 350, 60? And not a scrap of fat, and you're wearing a...
Well, no, there's some fat now.
A little bit.
He's a big boy.
But you're wearing a robin's egg blue blazer.
Yeah.
I mean, you are not indiscreet.
No, he stands out.
He stands up.
Especially
he stands out. He stands up. He clinches off for relief.
Listen to this.
Mid-broadcast.
This is the best. Oh, audio here. Here we go.
Underestimate the other thing about Kawhi is, you all right, big fella? You all right? Catching a cramp?
No.
Go ahead. Keep talking, Jeff. Yeah, we're on TV. I know what we're doing. Go ahead.
I know what
That's
we're
the
doing.
olive oil you've been drinking. I know. Hey, take some matches with you.
This is live television.
Hey, listen, he couldn't hold it. He can't hold it.
Charles Barkley, by the way, is really funny. I mean, everybody.
Another one, yeah.
Everybody knows that, but he's just what a natural. They must have been so excited when he retired. As they were watching him do game interviews, like back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
They were just like, "Oh, we got to get this guy on TV. We got to put a mic in front of him because he just says the funniest, craziest stuff." But yeah, just instantly, Shaq is waddling away, and he goes, "Don't forget the matches."
It's not like they stick to the three who are still broadcasting and let him go off with some sense of dignity and privacy.
No,
they follow him,
and then they instantly have a camera because Shaq has his own camera there. Obviously, they have his angle. And they have a slow-mo of his face as he's standing up. It's so funny.
40, you can't hold it no more.
That's a first.
You can't hold it.
Unless
he's got something.
That wasn't something planned, was it?
No,
that was not planned.
Hey, listen. He was in the back talking about he's going to drink alcohol and clear up his gut.
No, he's been drinking olive oil. You know what?
Olive oil and clean his gut. It's cleaning his gut.
I did not like his gait as he left. That was not a typical walk right there.
Hey, he been drinking. He says he read somewhere if you drink a shot of olive oil.
I saw them doing that the other day in the makeup room.
They've been doing it. They're going to do it. You have to do it for 2 weeks.
Well, you're going to miss a lot of airtime then.
Hey, listen. I just hope we got enough matches around here. Please turn his mic off. That's all.
That's another issue.
Hey, somebody go get some lighters. Oh, my God.
All right. Yeah, let's.
You can't
Then they watch the face repeat. Have you ever had, this is, I don't know, maybe TMI, but have you ever had at work, have you ever had that problem? Where you're just like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you drink a lot of coffee in the morning.
Sure,
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had to. I haven't walked out mid-show on you.
Not mid-show.
I wouldn't do that to you.
No. Not for, but just so you know.
Luckily, though, a commercial's breaking right now. Could you do olive oil for your indigestion problems?
No, people do that though for cleanse purposes. I have read that. I know people who do that. You do literally a shot glass of olive oil, and you try it for a while. It's supposed to move stuff through.
Okay,
I guess it.
And when you're the size of Shaq, that's a lot of stuff to move.
Yeah.
And when it wants to move, it goes.
It's like
it feels like a glacier breaking free. You ever seen those things where half a mountain of glacier will break free and come down to the ocean?
He's calving. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
When it's calving.
Yes. Oh, poor Shaq.
Funny.
But guys, have a little bit of decorum, a little bit of respect for the man. Don't slow-mo him.
I disagree.
They went to his face and slow-moed his facial reaction to a body emergency.
I think slow-mowing is the exact thing that they should have done, and they did it, and God bless them for
They do know their audience as we know ours.
Yep.
We give you people the very best.
All right, you can check that video out. We posted where to find it in our YouTube live page. Check it out there. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, your home for the John Curley Show. Weekdays from 3 to 7 p.m.
The economy is like a machine. You have two levers. You can push the lever forward, you can make money cheap, and then people buy and they invest. Then the economy really starts cooking. Well, it starts cooking so much inflation can come in there as well. You pull that lever back, and now you increase the cost to borrow, which slows the economy down, and it just basically puts the brakes on everything.
Streaming live on your smart speaker.
Are you finding it hard to stay cool in your home during hot weather? The issue is likely your window's poor quality and lack of heat deflecting technology. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and come with high performance Sun Matrix glass, which can help keep the summer heat out. Combined with our leak armor installation, your comfort will be secured for a lifetime. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
You've seen the headlines. Budget crisis, government emergency, billions of dollars short. No, not the federal government. It's happening here in Washington state. State tax revenues are at record highs. Over the next 4 years, tax revenue is on pace to grow by $10 billion. But current spending will outpace that revenue growth by $12 billion. Want to learn more about the growth of state taxes and spending over the last decade? Visit budgetbreakdown.org.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer. And they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Ladies, and you guys too, have you noticed visible signs of aging, those deep wrinkles, fine lines, and facial creases stealing your youthful glow? Sagging skin, crow's feet, and loss of facial contour are all natural effects of aging, but you no longer have to let them define your appearance. Introducing the New Skin Lift, the groundbreaking facelift led by Dr. Brian Scott. The advanced New Skin Lift addresses key signs of facial aging for women and men, restoring natural youthful contours. Whether it's replenishing volume lost over time or lifting the skin to smooth out those creases, the New Skin Lift can help you look 10 to 20 years younger with both surgical and non-surgical options. It's Hollywood's best kept secret and now available to you. Get a free consultation and save $250 off your New Skin facelift. Schedule at newskinlift.com or 206-222-1225. Look 10 to 20 years younger and restore your youthful appearance with the New Skin facelift. newskinlift.com.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Steel.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is expected to announce this hour plans to phase out 8 food dyes from the nation's food supply. Here's Michael Wallace.
The petroleum-based food dyes are found in thousands of grocery items, including cereals and sports drinks. The FDA has long said most children have no adverse effects from the dyes, but it did ban red dye number 3 in January after studies linked it to cancer in lab animals. Kennedy wants food companies to use natural color substitutes. For example, in Canada, Fruit Loops get their colors from blueberries and carrots, not blue number 1, yellow number 5, and red number 40. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio unveiled plans today for a massive overhaul of the State Department that will shutter bureaus and cut staff by at least 15%. Spokeswoman Tammy Bruce.
We must make the State Department great again. In its current form, the department is bloated, bureaucratic, and unable to perform its essential diplomatic mission in this new era of great power competition.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says more U.S.-Russia talks on Ukraine are happening.
The negotiations continue. We feel, again, we're hopefully moving in the right direction, and the special envoy, Steve Witkoff, will be heading to Russia again later this week to continue talks with Vladimir Putin.
A federal judge has extended her order preventing the Trump administration from deporting anyone from Colorado without notice. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
She makes it very clear
clear how much notice needs to be given. And she says that there has to be at least 21 days notice to anyone that the government seeks to deport so that that individual can contest the removal.
The Supreme Court heard arguments today over children's storybooks with LGBTQ characters and whether some parents in Maryland should have been able to opt out their kids. CBS's Jan Crawford.
This was a fascinating case and a really important one because it kind of pits parental rights and religious freedom against this school district's efforts to show diversity in its community, as they put it.
Delia Gallagher has the latest from Rome with the funeral for Pope Francis set for Saturday.
His whole desire for the funeral has been to keep it as simple as possible, which of course the cardinals will keep in mind, but they also have to balance that with the centuries-long tradition of papal funerals. So I'm sure we will see all of the pomp and circumstance of a traditional papal funeral as well.
A jury in New York has found the New York Times did not libel former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. She claimed an editorial in 2017 damaged her reputation. The Dow finished more than 1,000 points higher. This is CBS News.
Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Days after a hit and run, the case turns into a homicide investigation. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Bellevue, a crash is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near Southeast 8th Street. You're backed up to I-90. Drive time Renton to Bellevue is 23 minutes. That's about 10 longer than typical. Construction has you backed up on State Route 18 from I-90 to the Tiger Mountain Summit. Near Easton, I-90 eastbound is fully blocked due to a collision. Crews are working to clear a rock slide along Chuckanut Drive. That's State Route 11, halfway between Burlington and Bellingham. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch.
This is the worst case I've witnessed.
The Thurston County coroner on the death of a Tenino grandmother. More from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders says they found the body of 82-year-old Marcia Norman under a shed built by the suspect, Jeffrey Ziz, the day after her disappearance.
The Thurston County Sheriff's Office lifted up the shed. We located human remains about 18 inches underground in a shallow grave with concrete poured over the top.
Ziz is now back in Washington, arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and murder. A judge ordered Ziz be held without bail. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
One of two pedestrians hit and injured in a hit and run in South Seattle has now died from her injuries. The 60-year-old woman suffered significant head trauma. The crash happened at MLK Way South and Alaska Street, where neighbors tell KIRO 7 TV.
I am concerned about speed in this area. People in this neighborhood seem to drive pretty quickly.
Police are searching for the motorcycle rider who struck the couple and then took off. A suspect is in custody in the killing of a Seattle high school student at a party on Easter Sunday. 18-year-old Salvador Granillo was a senior at Garfield. He was shot during a fight at a large party in Yakima. His girlfriend tells KIRO 7 TV.
We would go to sleep on FaceTime every day, and I can't go to sleep knowing that he's not there.
A vigil was held at Garfield last night. A closed-door meeting in Olympia today could have major consequences for this legislative session. KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich says the governor is with budget writers.
Bob Ferguson is meeting with the Democratic leadership at both the House and the Senate, where he's going to say, we're assuming, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. We have 6 days left. I don't want to go into special sessions after Sunday. Let's get to it.
State lawmakers are trying to fill a multi-billion-dollar gap in a budget that includes record state spending. The governor has told them to consider cuts. This Thursday, the Seahawks will select their first-round NFL draft pick. General Manager John Schneider says he wants to shore up the offensive line, but admits,
it's also a little bit of a lazy narrative because every team is looking for offensive linemen.
The Hawks have the 18th overall pick plus 4 more selections in the top 100. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. So much to get to, so much to do, so little time. That's the correct way to say that, actually. Spike.
Yes, sir?
A lot of stuff to get to in this hour. We're going to talk about that horrible case of that woman who was found, the murdered woman who was found under a concrete slab. We've been avoiding the story, and we'll get to it in a few minutes, but the details that they now have about what happened, allegedly what happened, and the planning process, allegedly, is
the
just...
warning signs that were not ignored, but just not taken seriously enough, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
but the details are coming out.
We'll get to all that in just a little bit. Did you know that today, Spike, is Earth Day?
Of course I did.
Massive day in the
Skorheim
house.
Yeah. I know you're kind of joking a little bit here, but
kind of.
I take this day very, very seriously, man. I really do.
Are you joking with me right now?
No, I'm not. I was in 1970 when Earth Day was originated. I was 7 years old.
I didn't know that this was. I didn't know this was close to your heart.
Earth Day started basically in Seattle.
I believe that.
It started here because, and I've done some reading on it. It was actually, there was a Nebraskan man who started Arbor Day, which is the day of planting trees, right?
Another huge day in our house.
In 1960, the fall of '69, the Wisconsin senator spoke to a group of people in Seattle about a national day of teach-ins to teach kids about the environment.
It wasn't summer of '69?
That wasn't summer. It was the fall of '69. It was the summer of '69 that inspired this movement to become globally aware.
Gotcha.
Well, there was this national movement to teach kids about the importance of the environment. How we got one planet.
Sure.
And at that point, the EPA was just getting underway under Nixon. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there were days when you could, you ever seen pictures of New York City pre the EPA and post the EPA where you couldn't see through the sky in New York? And then 5 years later, you could see blue skies and skyscrapers in New York.
Unbelievable.
There were times when you could literally light the rivers on fire in Ohio because of chemical dumpings from manufacturing plants and processes.
Sure.
And the EPA came along and they started teaching kids how important it was, the stewardship of the planet. Now, I'm not talking about global warming or politicizing any of this stuff. But we used to just take it for granted.
Sure.
That this planet would always have enough for everybody. Mine,
all right,
drill,
well,
burn.
I can get on board with that.
Well, that's
the
what
politicized part of it. Where
no, and I'm not about that. I'm about we got one rock.
I love this planet.
Rather than shoot myself off to Mars, hope I get on Elon's good side or Jeff Bezos, I can get into a jumpsuit, zip it down to my navel, and Bezos lets me on his ship.
Well, if you're going on Bezos' ship, you're only up there for 10 minutes. You're not going very far.
I'm hoping the missus gets on. I can just ride her coattails because, she's got what Jeff's looking for in the way of space travel.
There you go.
Buoyancy.
Yeah.
My point being this. Earth Day, we've kind of been taking it for granted. To your point, man, Earth Day's not a big day in your house. Arbor Day's not a big day in your house.
Well, we got lots of we respect the planet.
I know you do. You don't throw litter out the car. We had
my
talks
grass.
about this. Yeah.
Yeah, you trim the trees when they're supposed to be trimmed.
You're living the benefits of 50-plus years of Earth Days.
On the shoulders of these other people.
That's right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And you're teaching your boys to be good stewards.
Sure.
Right? To live responsibly and live as one with nature, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, we don't burn plastic in the backyard.
No,
we're not animals.
No. And if you see a sea turtle, you're going to snip the six-pack ring off his neck and let him go about his way.
100%.
Of course you are.
Am I going to save the turtle? Every
so
single
happy
time.
Earth Day,
so is that what Earth Day's about?
That's
I
what
thought
Earth
it was
Day's
a big
about.
climate change thing.
No, it has morphed in that. It has morphed into that.
I thought it was that because when I see the pictures of Earth Day going around, I see all these people
burning floats in the middle of a parade downtown.
Yeah. And I think to myself, if this is just another big climate change thing, it doesn't make sense that they'd be burning stuff. That doesn't make any sense.
The extremists always overtake a movement and sensationalize it to get the TV coverage, get the press coverage.
Well, then it's a big turnoff to a lot of people.
It really is.
The nice thing would be to say, hey, you know what, Earth Day, take care of it. Like, don't be like Jake's grandpa and just throw trash out the door.
You see something, pick it up.
Make it nice.
Make one little move.
Well, I can get on board with that.
Sure,
that's nice.
Of course
it's not a political
thing.
thing.
No,
I can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of not politics, this is another thing that people are talking about, though. Seattle breaks records on homeless tents removed, encampments cleared. I thought this was a great positive story about Seattle.
Until you read it, right?
No, I read it. I read this. Did you read the story?
I did read the story, and
did you have a different response than I did?
Well, it's a very positive, inspirational headline, But the soft white underbelly of this story is, while there are less tents now than there were when Mayor Harrell took the job 3 years ago, he came into a city that was just overrun with tents.
Sure.
Like an 85% reduction in the number of tents that can be seen anywhere in Seattle.
Yeah.
But there are more people living on the streets than there were 3 years ago. That's the underbelly of the story. There are less tents. And the reason there was record amounts of encampment clearing and tent removals is because they keep just shooing them down the block or some other part of town. And the same tents are being removed over and over.
They have done a good job of clearing them out, though.
Oh, I'm
like
with
you and I were talking about this before the show. On I-5, if you drive into Seattle, I want to say it must have been, because I talked about it when I was doing the night show. So it was not that long ago.
Right? Yeah,
so
less than 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like a year ago.
Okay.
Maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, it was
a half
actually,
ago, but like a year ago.
Yeah, last spring.
I'm driving in. I'm sitting in traffic. It must be, what time is it? I'm coming in fairly early. It would have been on a Friday, I believe, because I usually early on Fridays.
Night show like 1, 2 in the afternoon for your 7 o'clock show, right?
You know me. I like to get here early, so I was actually here at like 10. But still,
okay. Wow.
I'm getting in. I'm driving in, and I look over to my left. I'm stuck in dead stop traffic, complete traffic. Nobody's moving an inch. And boy, do I wish we were moving when I looked over. And there was that big on I-5, right past the 45th exit. You know what I'm talking about? It's like on the other side of the 45th exit.
Yes, I know exactly. There's a big green span that on both sides of the freeway.
That had turned into like Mad Max territory right there for years.
Yeah.
It was horrible looking.
Yeah. What wasn't covered in tents was covered in the garbage produced by the people living in those tents. And it was on both sides of I-5.
It was like...
Yeah, everything north of the bridge, the Motley Cup Bridge there.
Hanging in the ceiling, and then you see like on the ground all the guano.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. You had all the homeless people up top, and then all their rubbish had just rolled down the hill.
You remember when you took the express lanes going northbound or southbound and the underpasses of those bridges of I-5 right next to Stafford Elementary?
Yep.
I mean, the city was just beleaguered.
Overrun.
Yeah.
Overrun. And so I'm looking over there. I'm stuck in traffic, and I see a guy. Mm-hmm. I won't call him a gentleman because it's not a gentlemanly act.
I wouldn't do that in public.
I see a guy standing there, and he drops his pants, and he's doing a number 2 in the middle of the daylight. And I'm just like, this is not okay. There could have been kids. I mean, I guarantee you at some point on this stretch, there were children in the car.
Look,
hey, Bobby, what's that man doing?
Stop traffic.
Yeah, and you're stop traffic, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Put your head down, look at your iPad.
If there was ever a day, please let the traffic open up. Please be moving. And I'm watching this, and I'm just like, this is actually pretty analogous for what Seattle feels like right now. There's just like people going to the bathroom indiscriminately wherever they want to go to the bathroom. I don't know. I grew up in a different time where you weren't supposed to go to the bathroom in front of people. But Seattle's a little bit different kind of a city, and I accepted that. I'm coming down here. I'm excited to do the show. But you're watching that, and you're like, this cannot keep up forever. They just can't allow this to keep going. So thankfully, Bruce Harrell, it seems, this was part of his platform. He wanted to clear out some of these tents. And I think he's doing a good job. And there seems to be a lot of, what is this, the thing they have here?
He is doing a good job. You're right.
The tents were down 80% from 2022. 80%.
You got to remember something, too, though. There was an all-time high then because you weren't allowed to clear encampments during COVID.
Because of pandemic.
Right? They didn't want to take maybe an infected population and move them around and get involved with them. I mean, those were the guidelines prohibiting encampment sweeps.
Yeah.
Remember the encampment that was south of just south of the I-90 and I-5 interchange? On the southwest side of that interchange, down by the stadiums.
With all the little structures that they built.
Yes, and I mean, there were chop shops for stolen cars. There were people living in RVs. They were making drugs, not just cooking, selling, and using drugs.
Mountains of bicycle parts.
Seriously. It was literally a crime encampment. Well, to the mayor's credit, 85% of the encampments that were there when he took office almost 3 years ago are gone.
It's great. I think it's great.
It is great, but I guess when I saw that there are still more people now on the streets than there were in those days.
Here's the thing.
That's what troubles me still.
Here's a question for you, though.
He's only doing half the equation. Go ahead.
Well, is it King County's responsibility? Is it the city of Seattle? Bruce Harrell's the mayor of Seattle. Mm-hmm. Is it Seattle's responsibility to house people who don't have houses? Is it their job to put those people into houses?
To a degree, yes. And I'll tell you why. Because we as taxpayers want to live and work and play in a city that is clean, safe, and pleasant place to be. And if that means you have to deal with this unhoused element that lives and lives and plays and commits crimes in this city and does drugs and has mental illness issues in this city, then it behooves the city to take part of those resources we pay into as taxpayers and come up with a solution instead of just pushing these tents from one neighborhood to the next, to the next, to the next. Give them some treatment, give them some... That's what Harrell hasn't done. He hasn't followed through on the additional beds, additional housing, additional services.
But the problem I have with that is there has to be some sort of a reasonable end game where you can't constantly just being like, all right, send as many people as you want. Give it as many homeless people as you want can come to Seattle, and we'll find a place to put them. These are adults who are making a choice, whether it's through deciding to start taking drugs or whatever, however they arrive there. And there are some mental health issues, and God bless those people, and I hope they get the help they need, and I hope that they should be top of the list for people who get help. People who are making the decision to inject horrible things in their body, which are then ruining their lives and the lives of everybody who loves them. They are further down the list for me of people who get housing.
Well, I think they deserve our compassion and assistance, too.
I'm not saying compassion.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
But I would say mental health people first, through no fault of their own, and then move down the list as much as you can afford. But that number does stop somewhere. I think people do get tired at some point of just like throwing taxes at a problem that doesn't seem to be going away. The more money they spend on it, it's like they're throwing gasoline on a fire. The more money they spend on it, the more people there seem to be homeless, and the problem doesn't seem to be getting fixed. So I don't think that Harrell is doing a bad job by not providing more places for people to sleep necessarily. If the number keeps growing, let's say he increases the number of beds available and the number keeps growing. Well, like, what are you then doing? Are you just saying that we'll just keep providing housing for people for any amount?
No, but there are multiple elements of this that need to take place, because I know that we talk about affordable housing, and that's not the solution here, but it's an element of the solution here. While a lot of these people are mentally challenged, while these people are drug addiction challenged,
which is the majority of them,
a lot of them also are financially challenged, and affordable housing would help keep some of these people off the streets. We had a story last week about how Pierce County was going to put a fund together to eliminate eviction, to help people stave off eviction, because those people are one bad paycheck, one missed moment away from being put to the streets as well, right? So you have to have affordable housing. And to Jason Rance's piece that we talked about last week about the city having some accountability for those it wants to help.
Was I here for that?
You remember Jason wrote the piece about the bus stop, right?
About riding the ghost bus.
Right, the ghost bus, and about how the addicts on the bus stop and the mental health issues on the bus stop. We talked about how you have to give people, look, you can either go to rehab or you can go to jail, but you can't stay on the street.
Okay, so those are two good options. I know, but those are two options. I think the third one that you're not talking about, that Jason wasn't talking about, was just indiscriminately adding housing. He was saying jail or treatment. You can get one of those two things.
Well, I think housing's an element of it as well. I think housing, if you take the people who are on the streets strictly for financial,
but who pays for that? Who pays for it? Seattle is not a city of low taxes. They tax them pretty high.
Well, I know,
and there's still not enough beds. It's not a city without compassion.
Well, I think it behooves the city to have affordable housing for the residents, not just for the homeless folks who are on the streets. People who want to live and work here.
And Harrell has made a commitment to that. He's saying, hey, we need what is it? What did he say? Like 300,000 new housing units or something? What was the ridiculous number that he's never going to hit?
It was 100,000
Do you remember
housing
that?
units or something? Yeah.
It was
in 30 years?
Yeah. He gave himself like a really long time.
Yeah, you get a nice long runway to get that done. Next mayor will work to deal with the fallout. But it's a lofty initiative. It's a lofty goal.
But it's not, what I'm saying is, how much money are people willing to spend on this? Because I do think they do have a cap.
And we always talk about driving companies out of town, right? When Amazon sets up shop on South Lake Union and pays these guys $250,000 to come here and do work from all over the country, all over the world, and they buy up every apartment and rent out every apartment in town, every condo in town, Amazon's making all this money. Isn't it on the business's responsibility to help build affordable housing in this town if they're reaping all the benefits?
But they already are helping the town.
Well, every time we try to help them.
No, but where do you think all the tax money comes from? From these people who are working really great, high-paying jobs. They're paying a ton in taxes already. Amazon is already hiring lots and lots of folks and paying them a very good wage.
The employees are paying those taxes. Amazon, every time we try to tax a big business to help or alleviate some of the problems, that huge business, while they bring tons of benefits, don't get me wrong, all those Amazon people shop here, they spend their money here, they pay their taxes here.
So
I get all that. But the fact that they're driving the cost of housing up to an unaffordable level for the rest of us who don't have six-figure Amazon jobs.
So you're saying that Amazon, you should dip into companies, any tech company who's paying people a lot of money, you should dip into them or take some of their money and just make them pay housing.
I'm of that mindset. That right now corporations pay, and businesses like the size of Amazon, pay the lowest taxes they've ever paid in our history. I know they still pay a ton. I'm not arguing that they pay the vast majority of all taxes paid. When we talk about the golden age of America, making America great again, yada, 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 the tax rate for the upper echelons were 90%, then 75%, then 50%. And I'm not saying go back to, but
it's totally insane.
Those people were doing just fine.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, you
That's
kidding
insane.
me?
Do you know how many people Jeff Bezos employs?
Yeah.
Way more than they were employing back in the day, and at way better wages, and not slave labor. These are really good jobs.
I understand that.
You literally had to come up with unions back in the day because they were forcing people to work 15-hour days and not letting them take breaks to pee. I don't think that's what's happening at Amazon right now. So they're very good jobs.
I don't know. There are quite a few.
I'm pretty sure they have bathrooms at Amazon.
Yeah, and a lot of guys pee in the Gatorade bottles too when they're driving their trucks.
Listen, people are into weird stuff. If they want to take a break and they want to pee into a bottle, that's fine with them.
How many stories have you heard about Amazon workers on the floor of the distribution center, the fulfillment centers in Amazon, who don't get to walk away from their machine for 6-8 hours at a clip?
You know what? Honestly,
to meet the numbers.
I see commercials, and again, these are Amazon commercials. But I look at those Amazon commercials, and I see that
benefits from day one.
Benefits from day one.
College is paid for.
You get 20-something an hour to start. It's like $30 an hour, and you have a guaranteed access to advancing within the company. And these are people who are coming in with zero skills. That's a pretty good starting job.
I get it, but also
I worked at a burger stand.
But two things can be true at the same time. Amazon pays a good wage. Amazon pays a lot of people a lot of money to work for Amazon. But Jeff Bezos and the billionaire class, we've never...
I don't know how we shifted to Jeff Bezos
we have
fixing
never had,
all of Seattle's problems.
I'm not saying Bezos needs to fix them all. I'm saying that if we got more billionaires than ever, and billionaires are paying the lowest taxes they've ever paid, isn't part of the equation maybe they could pay just a little bit more to help solve the problems that we have in this town?
How much would you like them to pay?
I don't know.
I guarantee you, if you look at Jeff Bezos' tax burden, it's pretty high.
It is.
I think Elon Musk paid the most taxes that any American has ever paid in the history of the country.
I doubt that's true.
No, that is. Look it up. Billions and billions of dollars in a single year.
And he's also made more money than anybody's ever made in their lifetime. And he's paying the lowest corporate tax rate.
You're saying that like that's an evil thing. That's not an evil thing. It's a wonderful thing. He's paying a ton of taxes. We're benefiting. He's benefiting. It's a good thing.
So if he's paying the lowest rate ever in the world's history,
I don't know that that's true. That he's paying the lowest rate in the world's history. I don't know that that's true. But if he's still paying the more than anybody's ever paid in history, that seems like he's already paying a lot in taxes.
You think 1% would break him?
1% what?
1% more in taxes. If Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk
would 1% more in taxes for Jeff Bezos fix Seattle's problems?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it would.
We don't have enough billionaires to do that. It just wouldn't fix the problem.
Let's start with the ones we have and see how much 1% more gives us in the way of getting drug
these
treatments.
People. That's the problem, Spike. We don't own these people. We don't lock them here in Seattle. Look at the last time they tried to tax Jeff Bezos. He lives in Florida now, and we don't get any of his money. So that wasn't a good plan.
Well, he's still making all his money out of this city. He just took his money and went to
But you just said tax Jeff Bezos.
1% more.
There's taxable ways that he can move to different favorable states. Yeah. Most people do it. A lot of people do it. Why do you think Delaware is such a possible, happy tax haven?
Oh, because he can eat ice cream with Joe Biden. That's why. Who wouldn't want to do business there?
I would want to do business there. Everybody loves ice cream.
See, that's what I love about you. You got a very pragmatic sense of how we solve problems. And I'm going to say just a drop more compassion. A drop more accountability and responsibility for those who have benefited more than anybody in history from our society. You want to make America great again? Pay a little more taxes and support a middle class.
I'll let you have the last word on that.
I like it, bro. I love it.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. What are we doing next? We got a lot to talk about. We haven't even gotten to most of the stuff. We got nothing.
We should talk about Earth Day.
About this segment.
I'm kidding. You know, let's go to sunny Florida.
Let's go to sunny. Is this Florida or is this
okay? Florida.
Universal's Epic Universe is going to open up soon.
Yeah, they're going to beat the mouse at their own game.
This actually looks really cool.
It's good.
I didn't know Universal had so many cool properties.
Oh yeah.
This is a totally immersive new world. It's going to rival Disneyland. Is Disney scared?
Clean the mouse's clock.
I think they might. We'll tell you about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Hey there, I'm Chris Sullivan, traffic reporter for KIRO Newsradio. The favorite part about my job is helping you get answers to your traffic questions.
Will this construction ever end?
How do you zipper merge?
Just how close is tailgating?
Now I need your help. What burning questions do you have? What should I be looking into? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text choke points to 888-973-5476. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the star of my next Choke Points story. Presented by Carter Subaru.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through April 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended through April 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
In the market for a new car, Carter Subaru has the vehicle you've been searching for with over 300 new ones in stock, including the 2025 Outback now with 2.9% financing for 36 months, or go electric with the 2025 Solterra EV, 0% APR for 72 months on approved credit. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/25.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Announcing the Million Hour Volunteer Rally. Donate your time to local food banks or host a food drive. You can win groceries for a year and a $5,000 donation. Visit albertsons.com/volunteer to learn more.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A big rock slide continues to block a popular drive in Skagit County. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports all lanes are blocked on a stretch of SR 11 in Bow.
Troopers are reporting the slide is more than 20 feet high, consisting of large boulders. If you are headed that way, State Patrol is asking you to avoid just south of the Oyster Dome Trail.
Maintenance crews are at that scene, but WashDOT now warning this may be an extended closure. It has never been busier at licensing offices across Washington. The high demand coming as the Real ID deadline approaches in 2 weeks. Thomas Charlson is with the Washington Department of Licensing.
Just last month, we set a new record for issuing the most first-time enhanced license with about nearly 58,000 people.
He tells KIRO 7 TV most appointments are already booked, but if you can get to an office early enough, walking in might be your best bet. Now to the closing bell report. Seattle's business community now speaking up about proposed tax increases coming out of Olympia. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on their virtual roundtable this morning.
While Washington lawmakers try to plug an estimated $16 billion budget deficit over the next 4 years, business leaders worry proposed tax increases will hurt existing businesses and startups and stifle job creation, especially in the tech sector. Rachel Smith, CEO of the Seattle Metro Chamber of Commerce, says
our robust tech sector accounts for nearly 1.5 million direct and indirect jobs and represents 22% of the state economy.
Smith worries businesses will continue to move out of state for a more friendly business climate. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Rite Aid is struggling yet again. Bloomberg reports the pharmacy is preparing to sell itself in pieces as it faces a second bankruptcy in less than a year. Bartell Drugs was bought by the pharmacy in late 2020. Since then, nearly 30 Bartells have closed. At the close today, stocks rebound. The Dow gained more than 1,000 points. NASDAQ ahead 429, S&P ahead by 129 points. Let's go now to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk, and we start on eastbound I-90 in Easton. We do have a long-term crash now. Has traffic down to a single lane. It's an extensive backup, about 13 miles. Looking at northbound to Ellensburg, taking you 2.5 hours. That is a 1 hour, 15-minute delay. A reminder now, crews are working to clear a rock slide along Chuckanut Drive. That's State Route 11, halfway between Burlington and Bellingham. Rest of the map around the Puget Sound region actually in pretty good shape right now. 34-minute drive from Linwood to Seattle. That's about average. Bellevue to Renton is under 30 minutes. And the Valley Freeway from Renton to Puyallup taking you about 40 minutes with some slowdowns in between Rent and Kent for some construction work there. For all of your heating, electrical, septic, mechanical needs, stop freaking and call Beacon. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. For today, mostly sunny skies and highs in the low 60s. Right now, 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, I'm excited to talk about this. I really do love theme parks. Disney is obviously the biggest player in town.
It's the Magic
and has been
Kingdom.
for years.
It is. It's great. Happiest place on earth.
Happiest place on earth.
They do it right.
Can you do? Sometimes I'll do a. I think it's actually not a good one. I think it's actually kind of bad. But my kids we have like a Disney book. We're going to talk about Universal Studios here in just a second.
Yeah.
Which are trying to rival Disney.
Oh, they have been for decades. Yeah.
But they're opening a new Epic Universe, they call it, on May 22nd. It's this massive park, and they have all these cool worlds that we'll talk about in just a second. But can you do any Disney voices?
Hi, Mickey.
That's
I used to do Goofy. I used to do voices all the time. That's what
did you do? Holy smokes, that's good.
Oh boy. You got a good Mickey.
We should do a dueling Mickey.
We should do a debate.
I would kill to be able to do a Donald.
Well, that's gonna be the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Doesn't it make you happy to see him do voices? Do another Donald.
I can only swear in Donald. I can be really careful. I can only do profanity as Donald Duck.
I can get angry as Donald Duck, but I can't make it. That's great. How do you do it? Are you pushing your tongue into the side of your cheek?
It's air pressure in the cheek, and you're.
Where are you getting the energy from, though? Is it
Caffeine?
lower? No, is it low? This is a technical question because
it's a muscular issue with the jaw and the cheekbones and using the air.
Everybody can do what I'm about to do. I can get angry as Donald Duck, which I'll do for my kids sometimes. I go.
That's great.
And I get angry.
You got it. You got the gift.
But I can't talk like him.
I can't either. I can only swear. I got profanity down to a pat.
Say the F word.
No.
I'm just joking. Don't say the F word. I can do Mickey. I can go, ha ha.
That's really good, Mickey.
That's just kind of that.
Yeah.
Hey. Do your Mickey. I want to hear Mickey. Do you know who used to do the Mickey voice?
Who?
That was Walt Disney.
Oh, the first Mickey?
The first Mickey was Walt Disney.
Mortimer Mouse, the first
Mortimer
one, right?
Mouse.
Yeah, that's right. Then Steamboat Willie came along. The first iteration was Mortimer.
Yeah, but for years he did the Mickey voice.
Yeah.
I think everybody can do the Mickey voice. Laura, can you do the Mickey voice?
Do
you want to give it a shot? No.
I think I was Brandywine.
That's pretty good.
I think
it's more mini. You got
a little more mini, yeah. Thanks.
Hey, you dumb mutt! You seen that one?
Oh, I love
Pluto, you dumb stupid
Is that
mutt!
Pluto's Once Upon a Christmas? And Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas?
It is.
Pluto runs away from home? Oh, come on, you're breaking my heart. Let's talk about
Universal. We can't just keep doing Mickey voices.
On Disney, yeah.
All right, we'll come back to Mickey voices. Okay, so Universal's opening up this massive, this looks really cool. I really like all this stuff.
Have you ever been to Universal Studios in Florida? Because they've had a massive complex down there.
I've never been to Florida because I'm afraid of bugs.
Oh, they got the biggest bugs on the planet.
They got the biggest bugs.
Yeah, you're right to be scared.
Zika scared the heck out of me.
Ooh.
You remember Zika?
Yeah, Zika virus? You bet, yeah.
Remember Zika?
Of course.
We were just starting to have kids when the Zika thing hit. And I remember that was a scary time.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah. Horrible thing, lots of bugs.
So Universal Studios in Florida's always had Disneyland, of course, California started it all. And then Florida bought this massive secret. Walt Disney purchased almost the entirety of the center of Florida secretively through ghost corporations to buy up all this land. Because if people realize
before competitors,
no, because if people realized that Walt Disney was going to build a massive complex,
I see what you're saying.
Property values would have gone through the roof because they knew Disney needed that land,
and they wouldn't have sold.
Right, or they would have
had them over the barrel.
They would have asked for much, much more. Right, so Disney bought the center of the state of Florida and built the Disney World complex, which is Epcot Center, the Magic Kingdom, there was an MGM studio,
sure,
and then the Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
And this thing you need 4 days to do all 4 parks.
So
in
fun.
Central Florida. But then Universal Studios opened up, and they've got a lot of different properties through movie rights from Universal Studios.
They do. And
they had some things. They had a Spider-Man thing for a while. They've had the Harry Potter world for about a decade now, I think, or maybe a little bit longer.
Very
That's
popular
been going
for them. Very popular.
But now they're all in. They're going all in.
Epic Universe is what they call it. Yeah. They're opening up this massive new park. It's going to be really huge, and it's going to be. It's not cheap to get in. Single day tickets are going to start at $139,
which is competitive for what Disney World gets. Yeah.
Increasing to $199 during peak periods. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Honestly, though, can you imagine that going up to a park? If you don't know what the cost is going to be, and somehow you time travel from the 1950s, and you're like, I'm going to go check out a new park, and you go in there and they're like $200
per person. Per day. Yeah, it's
go nuts. You'd go nuts.
When I lived in Florida in 1987, lived there for an entire year. I told you this. I lived in Orlando.
Did you go to the park a lot?
Had a season's pass. Yeah. As a Florida resident, $69.95 for the
$69 for the year.
For the whole year as a Florida resident, as often as you wanted to go. So we went there all the time.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the greatest.
So here's what they're going to open up. There's going to be 5 new sections, or a bunch of new. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 new sections. Yeah. They're going to have Celestial Park, which is going to be its only park that is not currently built on original. This is going to be the only park with original characters not based on movie properties.
Okay.
So nobody will care about that one. Super Nintendo World is going to be another one that people are excited about. You can actually go into and out of your different plumbing elements and all that stuff. Pipes.
Oh, okay, wow.
Couldn't think of the word pipes. So you can go in and out of the pipes, which is really fun. You're going to be able to meet Mario and Luigi, which my kids would go nuts for. Donkey Kong themed roller coaster, which would be a lot of fun. Awesome. Can you ride roller coasters as an adult? I can't.
I can't either. I got motion sickness. I can't ride in the back seat of a car.
I'm
awful.
Yeah, me too.
I pray for it to end. I grit my teeth, squeeze myself in the corner of a car, and pray for it to end.
And then
my kids love them.
The entire time.
Kids love them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a car ride.
No, I'm talking about roller coasters.
Roller coasters, yeah, I can't do them.
My kids love them, and you got to go with them when they're little. You can't let them,
They don't go there on their own. No, we went to a local little, Snohomish has this thing called Klahaya Days.
Yeah, you bet.
We went, it's really cute because it's like old school, although all the rides are.
Carny ride kind of rides?
Carny rides.
Yeah.
So we go up on one of these things and it like shoots up 40 feet in the air and then it starts spinning.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like one of those things that like you're on, the seat that you're on, the bench is on chains.
Chains, yeah.
I couldn't believe when I got up there. I was like, what in the hell was I thinking? And it was me, and I didn't want to look like a wuss because two of my sons really wanted to go. And so
that's what you do. You're the old man.
It was my oldest son and then my second oldest son and then me sitting in the middle. And I swear to God, I had to hold them onto the ride.
Yeah.
Because the thing starts spinning around so fast.
Yeah.
I got so sick on that ride. I couldn't even see straight. And I should have known.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing's spinning the whole time. And it's spinning and it's going up and down. And it was just an awful experience.
It's terrible.
Kids had a great time.
I wish them best of luck down at Universal. It's going to do well. It's going to do really well.
It's going to do well. They got a lot of stuff.
They got a lot of money.
A lot of money going into this. A lot of cool worlds. Dark Universe is another part. It's going to be all the classic
Dracula,
monsters.
Frankenstein. Yeah, that's going to be great.
Frankenstein.
Very nostalgic for older
Dracula,
guys like
Invisible Man. Which
that's a cheap.
We're both going to make the same dumb joke.
I love this job.
That's funny.
And How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
One of the
that's
world's,
going to be sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
You seen the trailer for that new movie?
The live action?
Yeah. Looks pretty good.
It does.
I'm not sure about the hiccup. I'm not sure about the kid because the original hiccup in the original movie, he's such a lovable kid. He's ingrained into my brain.
Gerald Butler's going to do the live action because he did the voice in the original. Yeah.
Just like The Rock is doing Moana.
Yeah.
He's doing the live action Moana. Yeah. As what's his face?
Maui.
I
love having kids. Excuse to watch cartoons. It's the greatest.
Yeah, they're good. They're pretty good. Ha ha! You dumb mutt. All right, we got a lot more coming up. I don't even know what we're talking about next. Oh, what is this? This is a drunk guy. Talking about drunk guy. Or not so drunk, as it turns out.
As the evidence would bear out.
Actually, not drunk at all, as it turns out.
Still got locked up.
Still got locked up. Pretty crazy story. We'll tell you about it. Stick around.
Remembering Pope Francis.
The Pope died this morning, a day after making his last public appearance on Easter Sunday.
Local reaction.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live outside St. James Cathedral in the First Hill neighborhood.
I've seen Son perform a sign of the cross. I just said some prayers right away.
When I think of the word humility, that is something that he fully embraced.
Coverage continues.
It's been 20 years since we've had the death of a reigning pope.
On KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hi, Spike O'Neill for Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Last November, I finally made the leap and went into the offices of Dr. Sharp and his team at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Had a full eye exam. They told me that it wasn't just that my eyes were getting old and I needed readers to see anything anymore. I had the beginning of cataract, and I was a perfect candidate for RLE surgery, refractive lens exchange. I had a lot of questions. They answered them all, put me at ease, had the same care team from start to finish. And after a quick procedure at their Bellevue offices and a couple weeks of recovery at home, I cannot begin to tell you how much, not just better my vision is, than it ever had been in my life. I always had 20/20 vision as a kid. Now I've got 20/10 vision. And I will never need readers, and I will never develop cataract because of these refractive lens exchange that I went into the offices of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. If it's time for you to make the decision about your eyes and the vision that you want for the rest of your life, give the team at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens a call at 425-451-2020. That's 425-451-2020 or online at sharp-vision.com, sharp with an e-vision.com, official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Did you know that over the past 10 years, home values have increased the most during the first quarter of the year? So how much is your home worth right now? Check it out instantly at sellwithwest.com. Sure, there are other apps out there you can use, but most of them are national companies. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. If you're even thinking about making a move in 2025, go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. So here's what you have to do. Go to sellwithwes.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay to stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Texas fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com. Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Are you ready to enhance your home with stunning, energy-efficient windows and doors? At Pella, we offer top-quality products with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. And right now, we're offering an amazing deal. Enjoy 12 months with no interest and no payments, or get 40% off qualifying installs. My team is dedicated to helping you every step of the way. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free appointment today. That's PellaPNW.com.
Welcome back to the show. All right, there was this guy, young guy, 19 years old. He was driving home from his friend's house. I believe this is in, where is this at? It's in Iowa. Iowa City.
Yeah.
Newton, Iowa.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Is that not how it's pronounced?
Papal.
Some people say Iowa, whatever. Iowa. He is 19 years old at the time. He's 21 now, but this happened back in 2022. He is leaving his friend's house. He had just been hanging out with his friend and his girlfriend. He's pulled over by police. Police are wearing body cam footage. They walk up to the side of his car. They start questioning him. They ask for his license and his registration and his proof of insurance, all of which he gives them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, can you step with us into the car? We want to talk to you and, find out a little bit more. Then they start kind of pressing him and asking him questions.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that we smell alcohol on your person, and they think that we've got you for impaired driving.
They've got reasonable suspicion, they say. Probable cause, they say.
That's what
they pulled him over because he was riding with his high beams on. Then they talking to him through the window, and he's chewing gum.
Yeah.
He's got a whole bunch of air fresheners hanging from his rearview mirror.
Sure.
The officers conclude that this is trying to mask the scent of alcohol.
Let me play you some audio.
Okay,
the question is, did this kid handle this correctly? Or he's now suing the city because he has now said, and he took a drug test and he blew 0.
Well, he took a breathalyzer.
I'm sorry, breathalyzer.
Yeah, took a breathalyzer and they asked him how much he had to drink. He said 0.
This is nothing.
He said nothing.
Nothing.
Well, you got watery eyes and they're bloodshot.
That's what they say.
That's what they're saying. And these are some of the indicators that they have reasonable suspicion to institute a field sobriety test.
I have sons.
I know he got a little uppity with the cops.
I have sons. Yeah. Listen to how he talks to these cops. This is not how I would ever encourage any of my children or listeners to speak to police.
To drink tonight?
None.
What do you mean none?
I've had nothing to drink.
Okay. Why would your eyes be watery and bloodshot? I just noticed you have Adair County plates.
Yeah, I got it from my grandpa.
Okay.
You want to blow me real quick?
I don't want to blow you.
Pause.
We'll probably get there. How old
That's
are
funny.
you?
19. 19.
Okay.
I've had nothing to drink.
Okay. So your movements in the car with you fumbling over the registration?
Yep.
Kind of say otherwise.
All right.
And so does the odor of alcohol coming from your person.
Great. Let's do a test and
we'll get to the test.
I can't wait. So what happens if nothing pops up? Do you get in trouble?
No. Why would I get in trouble?
Because you think I'm drinking, but I'm not drinking.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
All right, let's find out real quick.
I'm not going to get in trouble for doing what I'm supposed to do.
Can I record it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your name?
My name's Officer Winters.
So Officer Winters thinks I'm drinking tonight. We're about to do a test, and he's going to find out I had nothing to drink. He's going to look stupid. Ain't that right? I've had nothing to drink.
All right, so
there's a moment when you know you're right. This kid knows he's innocent.
Yeah.
It kind of emboldens you to the point of stupidity because he's really pushing the buttons of these officers.
I also wondered, did you wonder, because so he plays it, he makes a mention there when he's being asked these questions. He says he goes to college. He's
William
back.
Penn.
He goes
on the football team at William Penn.
On the football team. I'm a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He says, I played locally here, hoping, I'm assuming he's mentioned that because he's hoping that this local cop is somehow going to give him credit for also being a local high school football standout.
Find some common ground. Yeah.
Something. And so he says, hey, did you go to school here? And the cop says, no, I didn't go here. So obviously that didn't work. Dead end there. Yeah. So I wonder, though, if he did feel also a little, I mean, he's emboldened because he had no alcohol in his system.
He had nothing to drink.
So that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
But the attitude that he takes with the cop, do you feel like maybe he felt like, I'm kind of a big-time star because I'm a football player, home for the weekend, and these guys are just trying to get me, and not that they're, like, targeting him, but you know what I mean? He's got a little I don't know where the attitude comes from.
Well, I think it comes from the fact that these cops saying, well, we think you've been drinking. Well, I know I haven't been drinking. And he said, well, let me take a test. Give me the test. Give me the test. And he got flippant. He's being cute with him.
But, I mean, I wouldn't call that cute.
Well,
that's an attitude.
Well, yeah, because he told him he didn't have anything to drink. Then they're saying, well, you've got air fresheners hanging, you're chewing gum, you fumbled for your registration. A 19-year-old kid being pulled over
by... You're going to be nervous.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And they're trying to find anything. And then when he blows the breathalyzer...
0.
And it's a 0, they said, when was the last time you smoked marijuana? Because they're trying to find something to get this kid
I get
on.
it. Now they're trying to find something. I get it. But my message to him and my message to my sons, because I'm going to face... problems with my own kids, and they're going to grow up in life.
I've had the same conversation with both mine.
1,000 times out of 1,000, I will tell them, listen, if you get pulled over by police, be polite, You don't have to admit to anything you didn't do, but be polite.
Yes, sir.
And at the end of the
Yes,
day,
sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yes or no, sir. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Let the courts figure it out.
And he got into he felt pretty emboldened.
Absolutely.
Well, the cops found that he hadn't been drinking. He blew a 0 on the breathalyzer.
Yeah.
So they accused him of driving under the influence of marijuana. They
Which
handcuffed
there's no
him,
evidence of.
took him to jail. He was tox screened at the jail. Found nothing in his system because as he told him, I'm on the football team. Yeah, they get tested weekly. If I smoke, I'm off the team.
And now he's suing the city.
And
do they have a lawsuit coming?
Oh,
Probably.
yeah. Somebody's getting payday.
Yeah. Oh, he will.
He will get paid.
Absolutely. All right, but don't talk to cops
to
like
Jake's
that.
point,
Stupid.
be respectful.
Be respectful. They're just doing their job, even if they're doing it poorly sometimes. Whatever. Not everybody's perfect.
They're all doing their job.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
She's local.
I grew up in Olympia.
She's experienced.
I've been very lucky to be in Seattle for 23 years.
Now, Manda Factor is home on KIRO News Radio.
This is where I want to be. It's where I've always wanted to be.
Experience matters. Experience for yourself. Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Every morning 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's Jim Singletary, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, here to tell you the right way to choose a roofer. And it's not by choosing the lowest bid. Just comparing numbers? Terrible idea. A low price doesn't tell you if the job will be done right, and it definitely doesn't tell you anything about the contractor. Instead, treat hiring a roofer like a job interview. Ask them, why did my old roof fail early? What's the right solution for me, and why? Have you been around for at least 10 years? A new roof is a huge investment, and the job shouldn't go to the lowest bidder. It should go to the most qualified. At RoofSmart, we've got over a decade of experience, a team of more than 50 full-time pros, and real answers, not just numbers. Plus, we're certified, insured, and properly licensed. We'd love to apply for your roofing job. Call 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com today. That's 206-487-4877 or online at GetRoofSmart.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Right now, have ultra-efficient, clean technology windows installed and pay $0 down with 0 interest and 0 payments for 18 months. Only from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. And they'll even pay your sales tax. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after turning 40, I noticed my libido just wasn't what it used to be. That's when I reached out to Revive Health. Their team knew exactly what I needed, which is why today, my wife and I are both more satisfied than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-Check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/privacy for info on how opt-in info will be used and terms and conditions at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
Hey, it's John Curley for Closets by Design. Our closets were a mess, so I called Closets by Design. They came in and did exceptional work. Now, they're locally owned, and they've been operating for more than 2 decades. I love these guys. A family-run business with national backing, and they source almost all their products right here in Washington. Have Closets by Design come out and customize your closet. Right now, 40% off plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. 1-800-BY-DESIGN or closetsbydesign.com.
This is
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent indicated today that the ongoing trade war with China is unsustainable and a de-escalation is expected. The markets reacted favorably. The Dow finished up more than 1,000. The S&P 500 was up more than 2.5%. Analyst Michael Farr says the wild swings are becoming an almost daily occurrence.
Markets are responding in very volatile ways, and I think whether they're moving up and down is still the trend. Lower prices are still the trend, and volatility, I think, is going to be our constant companion as this trade war continues.
U.S. health officials are planning to phase out some food dyes. FDA Commissioner Marty McCary.
We are simply asking American food companies to replace petroleum-based food dyes with natural ingredients for American children, just as they already do for children in other countries.
Currently, 8 synthetic dyes are allowed. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has unveiled a massive overhaul of the U.S. State Department. Spokeswoman Tammy Bruce.
This is a reorganization plan. It is not something where people are being fired today. They're not, no one's going to be walking out of the building. It's not that kind of a dynamic. It is a roadmap.
The Trump administration's going after people who haven't paid off their student loans, as Linda Kenyon reports.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says student loan forgiveness is now a thing of the past.
On May 5th, the Department of Education will resume involuntary collections for borrowers with defaulted federal student loans.
What does she mean by involuntary collections?
Withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages.
Secretary Leavitt says it's very simple.
If you take out a loan, you have to pay it back.
Adding presently, fewer than 4 out of 10 borrowers are repaying their student loans. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A new study finds many Americans don't believe their financial goals are achievable. Here's Matt Piper.
67% of Americans feel behind on their savings goals, with about half giving up hope, believing they'll never reach their targets. A majority with savings accounts have taken out money since the start of the year, primarily for unexpected expenses. The research was conducted by Talker Research and questioned 2,000 Americans across different generations. About 30% of those questioned can only put aside $200 or less monthly.
The Vatican announced today the funeral for Pope Francis will be held on Saturday. The viewing of his body will begin tomorrow. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Coming up, crunch time for lawmakers in Olympia. But first, we go to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk and tell you about a major backup on eastbound I-90. This is between Snoqualmie Pass and Easton. A crash has you down to one single lane. It is now taking you over 4.5 hours to go from North Bend to Ellensburg. Avoid I-90 over the pass if you can. Again, that is just eastbound I-90. Crews still working to clear a rock slide along Chuckanut Drive. This is on State Route 11, about halfway between Burlington and Bellingham. Rest of the map around Puget Sound actually in decent shape for this time of day. Linwood to Seattle, about a 30 to 35-minute drive. Bellevue to Renton, under 30 minutes. Lake Bridges are in good shape. Valley Freeway from Renton to Puyallup, about a 45-minute drive. And the North Cascades Scenic Highway, State Route 20, has just reopened for the season. For all of your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking. Call Beacon.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Some big-ticket legislation is still being ironed out in Olympia today. And as KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich tells us, lawmakers only have 6 days left in this legislative session.
Lifting the cap on rent increases, the Parent Bill of Rights, gun legislation, none of that has got to the governor's desk. So there's a lot to do in this last week.
And the biggest task of all, of course, agreeing on new taxes to help fill that projected $16 billion budget gap. One of the 2 people hurt during a hit-and-run crash in South Seattle Friday night has now died. Seattle police say the 60-year-old woman suffered a significant head injury and died at the hospital after she was hit crossing the street at MLK Junior Way in South Alaska. This man lives nearby.
I saw somebody laying in the road, team coming by to help. I didn't know if they were
still with us or deceased.
Police are still trying to find the motorcyclist who they say hit that woman and a 57-year-old man. A man who stoked fear in Seattle's Asian community has now been sentenced for his crimes. KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has details.
King County prosecutors say 28-year-old DeMarcus Pate terrorized Seattle's Asian community in the summer of 2023. Pate pleaded guilty Friday to a series of violent, armed home invasion robberies targeting older members of Seattle's Asian community. Here's Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
This individual pled guilty to not only unlawful possession of a firearm and 2 counts of burglary, but also hate crime for the intentional targeting of these Asian households.
Pate was sentenced to nearly 6.5 years in prison. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, Pike Place Market is going car-free starting tomorrow. This is a temporary ban that coincides with work by Seattle Public Utilities. Seattle Times reports that work is expected to be completed by August. Until then, no driving on the market's cobblestone roadway. Emergency crews, though, will still be allowed. So are deliveries, disabled parking, and curbside pickup. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today, just a couple clouds out there, but mostly dry and highs in the low 60s. Right now, 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. A lot of stuff to get to and to cover. Hope you're watching on YouTube Live, which is a lot of fun right now. We're at the Jake and Spike YouTube page. Check that out. You can also text us, 888-973-5476. We read the very best of your texts and comments at the end of the show, so make sure you get those in early and often so that you might also get a chance to be famous on the radio. Spike.
Yes, sir?
You go to Pike Place Market very often? You get down there a bunch?
More often than people who live here. I think I go more often than the average local, but not as often as I'd like. I think it's an incredible place to be.
Do you ever go there when you don't have company from out of town?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill and her cohorts in what they call a book club, although I've never seen them read a book. They like to go downtown.
A book club?
There you go.
Yeah, my wife's in a book club,
Aqua
too.
Book Club. They like to go downtown to the market and I like to take them down and pick them up and drop them off. I'm a chauffeur by nature.
You have to drive them because they do so much book reading they can't drive anymore?
That's exactly right. Nothing like a designated driver when you're reading a book. Right? So, yeah, I love to go to the market. And I love to walk around the market. It is really an incredible asset. But the mayor said something. That we got a story to tell, and Aaron Granillo teased a story in the news update.
Yeah, tell me. Is this something new?
Well, yeah, they're going to shut off that road that runs down Pike.
Yeah.
And makes a hard north turn there, the dog leg, I call it in the golf world.
Sure.
That motorway was going to be closed off in a pilot program interim, a test basis to car traffic, making it a pedestrian walkway.
Emergency vehicles will still be allowed.
And delivery trucks.
Also ADA accessibility.
The handicapped,
Handicapped stuff.
And people who do phone orders for pickup. So wait a minute.
So actually quite a bit of cars.
I got to dodge emergency vehicles, drop-offs and deliveries, to-go order pickups, and anybody with a placard hanging in their car.
Yep, handicapped drivers. Yep.
So
you got a lot to dodge, buddy.
It's a lot to dodge, and the only person that doesn't get through is me.
Yeah, you don't
your
get
average tax-paying driver.
Would you be? I don't actually have a problem with them eliminating the driving, but I agree with you. If you're going to eliminate it for one, eliminate it for everybody.
Right, and make the deliveries between a certain set of hours.
Sure.
And if and you can't.
There's a big truck block in the way. Then what are you even talking about?
And you're talking about pedestrian safety, which is why they're doing this, and I get it. It's a nice foot traffic area. It's to open the market up, to expand the experience, draw more people in.
Mm-hmm.
But when Mayor Harrell calls it one of the greatest pedestrian experiences in the country, that I got a problem with.
Why do you have a problem with that?
One of the greatest pedestrian experiences in the country, that block and a half doesn't have a view of the water.
Smells like fish.
Smells like fish.
Yeah,
if you're lucky, it smells like fish.
Yeah. Actually, no, you're right. That's not a fish smell.
I mean,
in my head,
this is one of the greatest pedestrian experiences in America. Are you really serious?
I can think of a few more.
I can think of a few more in Seattle. Okay, Mr. Mayor, you got a story to tell.
Sure.
You got to, okay.
He's trying to pump the city up.
He's trying. Yeah, right. We criticize him when people don't want to come downtown anymore. We lay it all at his feet. So I guess this is what you got to do.
But there's a lot of places that I'd rather walk.
Yes.
Than that stinky road.
Clean up the Occidental Park.
A lot of folks.
Clean up the
a lot of
Pioneer
places.
Square.
Yeah.
That's a pedestrian experience, my friend.
So do you think this is going to work? This is just it's a pilot program. They're not going to do this permanently.
Oh, this is going to work. It's going to work.
Yeah.
It is. And especially, I'm going to find a way to get a handicap tag. I can tell you that.
Sure.
I don't know if I got to throw a hip out or blow an ankle or pull a hammy or whatever, but if I can get in there with a tag, I'm in.
I feel conflicted about this. And maybe I already told you this, but I bought a car once.
Mm-hmm.
In the door, like the side door.
The side pocket. Yeah, the little side pocket. Yeah.
There was a handicap placard.
Valid
for 6 more months.
Doubled the value of the car, didn't it?
Double the value. Now, I didn't know about it when I purchased the car,
Right,
and I
right.
walked in. I walked in, and I showed it to my wife, and I said, "What do I do?" And I had a real look of confusion on my face because I know the right thing to do.
Sure.
But oftentimes, the right thing to do is the hardest thing to do, which is to go throw that thing away.
Ain't that the truth?
Cut it up and throw it away so nobody else gets it.
Yep.
And I looked at my wife and I said, "What should I do?" And she said, "Well, you got to throw it away." And I said, "That's not the answer
You said,
I
"Do
wanted."
I?
Yeah, I said, "No, but what should I do?" "Throw it away," she says. I said,
A second time?
"Well, but really."
God, you married well. Me too.
So I threw it away. Would you have used it maybe once?
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar. My mother-in-law's in town with her, and she brought her handicap placard with her. And I got to tell you.
Genius.
I got to tell you. I am living large.
Pretty nice.
I am living close and parking close, and I'm faking
Flying too close to the sun, Spike.
I'm faking a bit of a limp as I waddle my way to the store. I'm making it look good. I'm
Good
selling
for you.
it.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm a heart attack survivor.
Have you driven in the car without your mother-in-law, but with the tag?
Oh yes.
And you're parking?
Oh yes.
You're going to hell.
Oh,
You're going to hell.
allegedly.
According to my wife.
Hypothetically,
that's
I'm
what
doing
she would
this.
say.
I'm not actually confessing to that on air.
Okay.
But I have faith to limp.
I think you should keep using it as long as possible.
She's only in town for a limited time.
Send her home without it.
You know,
She'll
I
get
get
another one.
home. I get home faster to her.
Yeah.
In case something happens. That's
There
why
you go.
That's why I justify it.
Yep, and you're protecting your family,
Yeah.
and that's why you need to park in the handicap spot.
Yeah, and I'm.
But we
with,
don't recommend this.
No,
People
no,
shouldn't
no,
do
no.
that.
I'm with the mayor, and the foot traffic is going to be good. And I hope it does bring more people into the market. It's an asset of the city that I think far few people, I should say, take advantage of.
So it's not overnight. You can still park there.
Yeah.
So between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., no parking. And then afterwards, so for anybody who lives around there, and the argument might be, well, there's no parking and I need to live my life. You would still have parking available there. I don't know how much that's going to help you. I mean, parking down there is pretty bad as it is. So the 25 spots you might have access to.
Yeah. One of my main
problems
problems is if you're dropping people, I'm the chauffeur by nature. If you're dropping people off at the market, if you don't have that turnaround right there into the market and north,
sure,
you got a long way to go before you can get yourself righted to go back north again.
You're totally right.
There's not an alternative. You got to cut across traffic. You got to head east on one of the streets south of the market, and that's not easy because there's no place to turn left or turn right, turn west if you're heading south.
Yep.
I mean, he's got nothing but dead ends all the way down till you get to Pioneer Square.
I criticize the city a lot because I think they do a lot of silly things. But this one I don't care about too much. And I think it's going to probably be it's not a really good place for cars as it is, so I don't think they're losing a whole lot.
It's not a thoroughfare.
Yeah. It's not like they're getting rid of like the HOV lanes or something.
Right.
Or they're trying to add a toll lane.
In.
Exactly. That I would have a problem with. This I don't really care about.
I didn't want him to knock down the viaduct because I thought we talked about that before. I thought it was one of the few times that you could really show off the city's beauty and natural wonder.
Viaduct.
Driving the viaduct.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can do it quickly.
Yeah. And I was against it, but now that I've seen it unlocked the beauty of downtown, of the waterfront, and the city has invested so much in making that a pedestrian tourist destination, and it seems to be working. The new aquarium.
I hear from Mayor Harrell it's one of the best pedestrian experiences in the world. That's what I hear.
That's what he's saying.
All right. Speaking of two pedestrians actually, but maybe with one brain. We played this audio yesterday of those two sisters on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, the twins. When we played the audio, and we have an update on the story, but when we played the audio, you had not yet seen the video accompanying the audio.
Yeah.
Because it really is it's a double hitter. It's a visual feast. It's strange. You almost can't even figure what they're saying because it's so bizarre to watch them finish each other's sentences. You don't even really know what they're saying.
Yeah, it has a weird effect, a weird audio effect.
They're dressed exactly alike. They have the same haircut. It almost looks like AI, but it's not.
Looks like the kids from The Shining grew up. Is what it looks like to me.
It does look like that.
It's just trouble.
Red rum. Actually, those weren't the
twins in the hallway.
Come play with us.
Yeah.
That movie scared the heck out of me, by the way. So scary.
I know, right?
So great, though. Really good movie. Is that the best? What's the best? This is a quick side note.
Okay.
No, we can't.
Let's talk about the twins. You got enough scary stuff right here.
Here's the twins. All right, here's the update. This is crazy. So the incident, the carjacking that they were describing to the camera that involved their mother happened on Steve Irwin Way. Mm-hmm. You know who Steve Irwin was?
Sure, the crocodile hunter.
Crocodile hunter.
No. I'm sorry. That's Crocodile Dundee. Who was Steve Irwin? Was
the alligator?
Yeah.
He was a crocodile hunter.
He was a crocodile hunter. He was the crocodile hunter.
Look that up. Steve Irwin, crocodile hunter. Is that right? Crocodile hunter?
I've blown it now.
Crocodile hunter for 100 points.
All I can think of now is those twins in the hallway. Thanks a lot for that. That's
Laura, crocodile hunter. Yes, confirmed.
Yes.
Crocodile hunter.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Not to be confused with Mick Dundee, Crocodile Dundee. Total different franchise.
No, but very similar.
No.
Almost a cousin situation, but they're not. But
they're almost twins.
They are almost twins. But these ladies are actual twins, identical twins. And here's the bizarre part. They worked for Steve Irwin. They got famous for working for Steve Irwin.
These are the same twins from his TV show?
The twins from the TV show, and they were like, he was their mentor.
Okay.
And he helped them because they're all into animal preservation and stuff. And now they run a seabird rescue sanctuary in Australia. We're going to try to get them on the show, which would be a lot of fun. We could actually just talk to one and be like talking to both of them. And so I want to play you a little bit. This is a clip from the audio that just went viral. Everybody's in the world is talking
and this was a local TV station interviewing the twins after this.
This is 7
News.
News.
A carjacking that ended up in like a rollover accident, right?
There's a carjacking, rollover accident, Steve Irwin Way, a gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck, takes off running. The two sisters were detailing how their mother and another man raced in to help in the situation.
Right, because this guy's been in a rollover accident. Yeah.
But these are not young women. How old is their mother? What is she going to even do? These women look like they're 55, 60 years old. So their mom's, 75 at the youngest?
At the youngest. Well,
Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us.
This is already Friday favorites for me. This is going to be my Friday favorite, just to let you guys know.
And he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound, and I said, oh, Mum.
How? Honest question for the two of you, for Laura and Spike. How do you guys think they're doing this? Do you think it's a parlor trick? Are they just so used to talking, or do they only have 10 things that they say in life? One of them happens to be, run, he's got a gun.
Well, they remember what he said, right? So that was an easy one to sync
up
on.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
They're repeating verbatim what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I thought they've been doing that since birth, and this is how they talk about everything.
But listen to how they talk.
What do you guys want for dinner?
Meatloaf. Meatloaf.
It's
dingo babies.
It freaks me out. Oh, it freaks me out.
And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help.
Hey, I'm here to help.
I think they've been doing this, the echo of the two. I'm trying to identify, because it's Bridget and Paula, or whatever the names are, these twin sisters. Mm-hmm. I think they've been doing this for their entire life.
Do you think it's something that happened?
I don't know what it is, but I don't know if they're just so closely entwined from a physical and a personality standpoint. They're identical twins, dressed identically. They've done everything in their entire life together. They run Steve Irwin's show as a pair of twins. They run a bird sanctuary as twin sisters.
Sure.
I don't know that they could function independently. At least the Echo. I don't know if she can get out and just be her own person.
The Echo.
Yeah.
It's funny you've named her the Echo.
Because the ones
there's a dominant and there's an echo.
Right, the one's talking and the other sister, I don't know which one it is, but she just mimics everything her sister says.
I think her name is Echo.
And Mum distracting him to make him look the other way.
It would be really funny. She doesn't do this, but the dominant one, it'd be funny if as Echo is echoing, she keeps looking over, giving her the eye.
Knock it off. I'm trying to have an interview here. It's my moment to be an independent person for the first time. First time in live? Independent person?
And he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire.
You can tell that they're like, the dominant one is talking slower so that Echo can keep
catch up. Yes.
Yeah. She is. She's talking.
They call it a symbiotic relationship, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there and we were past our driveway.
Echo, shut up. It's too much.
Yeah. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety. Mm.
Oh, she got it wrong there. She said run for her life. No, it's safety.
Yeah, right. See what happens. If you're a reality show producer, aren't you just knocking on their door today?
Yes.
Isn't this the next season's biggest hit?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Although, I will say, I think it would get pretty tiring pretty quickly. If that's your shtick.
I could watch one episode of this and I'd be like, I am done.
And they run a bird sanctuary, which is crazy. Don't you think?
And
bird
they're all
sanctuary?
parrots, and so it's 3 of them now. Sorry. I can't believe it. Awful.
Parrots. Oh, that's perfect. You're right. I bet you parrots get trained up pretty quick at that sanctuary.
Oh, my gosh.
Just repeating.
Repeating. Oh, those poor. I mean, I feel guilty making
for the
fun
parrots.
Of them. I feel for these
bad
twins
for the
making fun of them.
For them. They're famous.
I do, because clearly something's up. Something's not right. It's too easy.
I think they're okay.
I hope. Because man, it's hard. It's hard for me to hear.
It's tough to hear.
These are the twins from the hallway. I'm telling you, they have the same effect on me. These two talking like that. And if those two twins spoke like that, they come play with us, right? This just freaked me out.
Just imagine those.
Being
run for your life.
Yeah. For your
Safety.
Life. Safety. He's got a big wheel.
The dingo's got you, baby.
Oh my God! Re-traumatized.
Speaking of traumatized, this is not traumatizing, although they do say that even positive change can be traumatizing. I don't know if you heard that before. Homeless man wins $1 million on scratch-off lottery tickets.
Yeah, I heard
Did you see this story?
I heard about this guy. I didn't see the story yet.
Took place down in California way.
Okay.
There's a guy, homeless guy, walks into a little 7-Eleven type shop, scratches off a lottery ticket. That's what he spends his money on, and he thinks
dreams, right? You may be broke, but you still dream.
You gotta listen. Hope is a powerful thing,
It
so he thinks he
maybe
wins
the best thing.
Maybe the best of things. He thinks that he's won $100,000, and the guy behind the ticket, the counter goes, "No, dude." He says, "I'm like, no, bro. Do we have audio of this? We don't have audio of this." I'm like, "No, bro. That's $1 million." And we gave each other a high five. That's the clerk behind the counter. He won $1 million. And then the clerk, because he's a homeless guy that won the ticket, didn't have any way to get to the office, so he's like, "I'll drive you." So he drove him. Obviously you're going to pick up friends too.
Yeah, you are.
So he drove him to the lottery office to claim his ticket, and he's still waiting on the money. They say they process 10,000 winning claims a month.
Yeah,
it's going to take a while.
We'll
to win
mail it to your permanent residence. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have one.
Are you worried? Yeah.
Sorry.
The $1 million is yours. We just need to know where to send the check.
That's right.
Like, well, I'm here now. No. We got to send it somewhere.
Official policy. Got to send it to a permanent address.
Here's a question for you. Have you heard of the lottery curse?
Yes. Yeah, and it's real.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. These people get money that they haven't earned, so they don't know how to spend it. With great power comes great responsibility, and they don't know what to do with the money. And so oftentimes, people come out of the woodwork, or family members go crazy. All your relationships go to south because the people in your life suddenly are like, I want some of that money.
Right, and you never know who's really there for you, who's there for the handout. Yeah.
Craziness.
I do think this homeless man is handling it perfectly. Does not want to be identified. So that's like already number one. Don't let anyone in your family know that you've won this money. He tends to make a down payment on a house, get a car, and then invest and save the rest.
How's he going to buy a house?
Down payment.
Down payment.
Down payment house in California.
You still got to have a job.
Well, maybe this is the one hand up he needed, and he got it from the higher power.
Oh, you think he has a job? He's just homeless?
When you got $1 million,
I'm not trying to crap on him.
Invest and save the rest. Maybe he's a day trader or something, or has got plans to do that.
Maybe he's a homeless day trader. That's possible.
Maybe it's enough.
Everyone has an iPhone these days.
I'm not trying to be mean to him. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
I hope that he's successful in California, though.
Yeah.
You know what $1 million is after taxes in California?
$37.
He's looking at $37. You can buy a house in California for $37.
And it's San Luis Obispo.
Right.
Good Lord.
Even worse.
Maybe it's enough to get a down payment on a place.
No, it's not.
Maybe a couple of first, last, and security deposit. Get into a place.
A rental place.
Right. Get a shave and a haircut, new suit of clothes. Right. Go get some dental work done.
That's what I would do.
And get in there and find yourself a job and have that little bit of cushion.
Yes.
To make the difference between you being on the street or being a contributing member to society.
You know what taxes are on $1 million in California?
I honestly don't know. It's
$1,200,000.
So he owes
he owes $200,000 to the California State Lottery.
Well, and they tax your winnings too, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, he's
in the hole.
He's in the
Thanks
hole.
a lot, Gavin.
He's like, I'm already homeless.
What are you gonna do?
Poor guy. God bless him. Enjoy your $1 million. All right. We got a lot more coming up. We are going to talk about next. We've been avoiding this story. There's a story about a woman who was found murdered.
Yeah. Well, first a missing 82-year-old.
A missing 82-year-old woman. You've heard her in all the news breaks. All the local news is talking about it. She was then found buried in a slab of concrete. Just horrible, horrible story. It's like nightmare stuff. But we were reading the details of this, and we all had the same thought. There was a red flag that happened before any of this went down, when she was still living and breathing, that happened, that she told her son about. And I'm looking back, and good golly, you look back at that this thing happened and that they didn't take action on it.
Yeah.
It's so sad knowing what ended up happening. We're going to tell you about it next. It's kind of unbelievable. So stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
It's time. The new phase of premium view lots at Natchez RV Resort is open. Don't miss your opportunity to get first pick. Tig, tell us about it.
Our new phase features incredible extra-large RV lots with amazing unobstructed views. And talk about privacy, nothing will be developed behind them. And these lots start at just $80,000.
Natchez RV Resort has 300 days of sunshine and year-round family fun. Pickleball, playground, dog park, miles of recreational trails. Plus, you have fishing, hunting, skiing, and golf nearby. And don't forget wine tasting. Yakima Valley has been voted the #1 best wine region in the U.S.
Natchez RV Resort also features a 4,300 square foot clubhouse with gourmet kitchen, great room, fitness center, showers, and laundry. Plus, the brand new saltwater swimming pool and hot tub are open and ready for you.
Get your perfect pick of Natchez RV Resort's premium view lots, starting at just $80,000. Reserve your showing now. 800-422-6009. 800-422-6009. NatchezRVResort.com.
Are you looking at diversification and stability with your investment portfolio, especially with the volatility right now in the stock market? Hi, I'm Scott Rierecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given market conditions. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Legacy's Northwest Fund also accepts IRA accounts as well. Find out why over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Get in touch with us today. Legacy's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
With everything going on these days, it's more important than ever to buy your new car from a dealership you trust. For me, that's Carter Subaru. This is Ursula Royteen. At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. Now get the 2025 Crosstrek with 3.9% APR for 48 months. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 4/30/25.
Now that spring is here, treat yourself to a teriyaki salmon meal at Ivar's Seafood Bar. Ivar's starts with a grilled wild Alaskan salmon fillet, bastes it with a teriyaki glaze, and serves it with coconut pineapple rice and sesame ginger coleslaw. A meal for $15.99. And if you're in a sandwich mood, don't forget Ivar's Fish Sandwich, named the best fish sandwich in America by Eat This, Not That. Ivar's Fish Sandwich features wild Alaska true cod, coated in classic panko and topped with lettuce, tomato, and Ivar's favorite tartar sauce on a fresh King's Hawaiian bun. Stop at Ivar's and get the country's #1 best fish sandwich for only $13.99. Available in all Ivar's seafood bars from Marysville to Tacoma and throughout Seattle, but not in Ivar's fish bars nor the Salmon House, Pier 54, or Mukilteo Landing. For more information, go to ivars.com. That's ivars.com. Save on a 2-night getaway to beautiful Victoria, BC with the FRS Clipper Spring Sale. Travel car-free on the Clipper Fast Ferry and stay at a charming downtown hotel. Up to 20% off. Save during Clipper Spring Sale at frsclipper.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. After a day of big losses on Wall Street, the stock market bounced back big time today. At the close, the Dow finished up over 1,000 points, fueled by positive news of trade talks. Bankrate senior analyst Mark Hamrick says market volatility will likely continue, at least in the near term.
One day, we're concerned about the president suggesting that Jerome Powell isn't long for the Federal Reserve. The next day, the White House talks up the notion of prospective progress with China on trade talks.
And today's surge in stocks also came despite the International Monetary Fund slashing its U.S. and global economic forecasts. Tomorrow now marks the 2-week deadline to get an enhanced ID if you want to use it to get through airport security. Licensing offices are now seeing a major backlog. KIRO 7 TV found a line wrapped around a building at an office in Seattle's Queen Anne neighborhood.
I did try to get an appointment. Previously, I've had better luck, but it looks like the next available appointment for this specific location was not until mid-June.
Washington Department of Licensing says it set a record last month with 58,000 newly issued enhanced IDs. Federal government is phasing out artificially made dyes it says are making children sick. CBS's Allison Keyes has more.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says 8 petroleum-based dyes will be phased out in a sweeping change for the food industry.
We're going to get rid of the dyes.
And then every bad ingredient and additive
in food that we can legally address.
There have been studies showing that artificial dyes in foods hurt children. FDA Commissioner Marty McCary says
America's children are sick and suffering.
Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Linden city leaders have voted to remove fluoride from the city's drinking water system. City Council member Lee Beld.
You don't add things to my water that I don't want. If I want fluoride, I just can simply go get fluoride.
Now, the CDC cites water fluoridation as one of the greatest public health success stories of the 20th century. Linden was the only city in Whatcom County that treated its water supply with fluoride. Now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk at 2:34. This report brought to you by Closets by Design. Still got that major backup on eastbound I-90. This is between Snoqualmie Pass and Easton. Crash has you down to a single lane, still taking you about a 4-hour drive just to go from North Bend and Ellensburg. Avoid I-90 eastbound over the pass if you can. On the SR 520 eastbound off-ramp in Seattle to Montlake Boulevard, disabled vehicle blocking the center lane, causing some backups as you approach the lake there. Rest of the map looking about average for this time of day. Linwood to Seattle, about a 40-minute drive now with those backups. In Mount Lake Terrace, and then again in the University District, Bellevue to Renton, taking about 30 minutes. Slowdowns right around the I-90 interchange. Looking at about a 30-minute drive now from Tukwila to Tacoma, and then about a 30-minute drive down to Olympia from Tacoma, and Renton to Puyallup, about a 40-minute drive. This report brought to you by Closets by Design, custom storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to closetsbydesign.com to see current specials or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to learn more. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today. Highs will top out in the low 60s. Warmer tomorrow and low 70s by Thursday. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. You can participate on the text line, 888-973-5476. We also have our YouTube page up and running. It's live. You can comment. We're in there on the chat line talking with folks. It's a lot of fun. Spike, this story we've been avoiding for days because it's just, number one, it's been getting a lot of coverage already. The news has been covering it.
Absolutely.
But it's just one of those stories that's so sad and it's so awful. And I just feel so horrible for the family of this woman. Of course, I'm talking about that 82-year-old woman, Marcia Norman, who was murdered and kidnapped and then murdered. And then they found her remains very hastily buried under a concrete slab in, I believe it was in Olympia. And they have arrested her former handyman. And he's now facing a bunch of charges. He's a convicted child molester. He's been accused of the murder and kidnapping of this woman. The whole story is just awful. Were you as shocked by this as I was when you're reading some of these details?
Well, of course, because I mean, like I said, it started with a missing 82-year-old, and the family was wondering, hadn't responded to phone calls, did a wellness check. Her purse was in the house, her checkbook, all these things. So immediately you fear for the worst, foul play, and then you find that she has been murdered, and her remains were found under, like I said, the concrete slab. And it was this person that was a part of her life.
Yes.
But it's...
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly. And then there's an interview Laura found where the son had told a media outlet that...
Well, this is the red flag that we were teasing before the break.
Of course, it's heartbreaking because we've all got elder relatives who you can... I mean, not that this poor woman was trusting and we had a kind heart and a good soul and wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt as these details come out. And so it hits home for so many of us.
We'll give you the details with the red flag. The red flag jumped out to me hardcore. I have older people in my life, and we're constantly hearing about the different struggles that they might be going through to find a person to help out to mow the yard or
and
the
how
gardening
they're
or
often
whatever.
Targeted for fraud and those kind of things. People prey on the elderly.
We do stories about that all the time.
All the time.
Old folks who get text messages on their phone says, "Hey, we need this information right quick, and we need your social security number and your bank info."
Oh yeah, your tolls haven't been paid, or there's a post office waiting with a package for you. All the scams that target the elderly.
And it's horrible, but they're targeted for a reason because they tend to be very trusting. They may not be up to date on all the different ways that people are trying to scam them.
Yeah.
So listen to this. The prime suspect is a family friend and handyman, according to Lieutenant Mike Brooks.
It's very traumatic. The entire investigation has been quite traumatic due to the nature of their relationship as a good friendship, and then to see it take such a traumatic turn.
This is the part where it gets kind of, the whole thing is dark and disturbing. But the confusing part here is she apparently knew this guy for a while.
Mm-hmm. Gave him an opportunity.
Employed him for a long time. Even employed him past when her family would have been comfortable with her employing him.
Right.
And it's detailed. Tell us about this incident that happened where she ended up telling it to her son. She obviously knew there was something strange because she told it to her son. But tell us about it.
He apparently recounted to her son, who then recounted to the media. She woke up in the middle of the night. This alleged murderer, Jeffrey Ziz, had broken into her home and was standing in her room watching her sleep. She awakened to this guy watching over her. And she said to him,
standing at the foot of her bed.
Yeah, you've crossed a professional boundary. This is inappropriate, and please leave.
So police talked to this guy about that. They asked him these questions because during the investigation process, when they were still trying to find the woman and trying to find out why he ran out of town and went to Montana,
And she had conveyed this story to her son.
She conveyed it to her son, who told the police.
Right.
This guy was then asked about this and confirmed the details, but he added an extra detail, which I thought was creepy. Deputies then asked him about the previous... I'm reading from this timeline here. Deputies then asked him about the previous encounter that Norman's son reported, and Ziz admitted that he went into Norman's room while she was sleeping and rubbed her shoulder. Court documents say he told detectives that he had romantic thoughts about Norman. So clearly there was some sort of he admired her from a distance.
She was 82.
She's 82 years old. Yeah, and he's in his late 40s. I believe he's 47.
I mean, that's just this guy's.
No, but there's something going on.
Everything about this guy's broken.
Yeah, it would seem so. What's confusing to me is that why she would continue to employ him after such a thing happened. Like if somebody came into your parents' house, or if somebody came into my in-laws' house, or like a gardener situation or a handyman or whoever you might hire because you need somebody who can get up on a ladder and change a light bulb, which people do need. But if they come into your house uninvited and they're standing at the foot of your bed.
I can't fathom. Well, I can't fathom how you rationalize that in the mind of this poor woman. How do you keep giving this guy the opportunity and the benefit of the doubt and trust to continue being a part of her life after this incident in the middle of the night?
Yes. So she said, according to Norman, assured her son, according to these reports, after the incident, Norman assured her son that she spoke with this handyman and she, quote, made it clear to him that they were going to keep a professional relationship and, quote, he was not to cross those boundaries again. Still, I would never, it's not up to me per se to direct my family members how to live their lives, my older family members.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to ask of children, of a competent adult.
But you are also looking out for them in a way that maybe they're just not willing to see. You know, that's a very strange behavior.
That's not just strange. That's completely inappropriate. That's
so
he broke into the home.
inappropriate.
He broke into the home.
So
shoulders.
Allegedly.
All
these things. Very horrible. And then apparently he had written, when police issued a search warrant on his residence that he was not at the time, he was renting a room with somebody. They went in there and they looked, and he had like 5 detailed pages, according to these documents, of a planned kidnapping and sexual assault of an elderly customer. He called it a, quote, customer, which obviously would have been this woman.
Yeah. Seems pretty clear.
And then it ends up under a concrete slab.
Horrible.
On a job in Olympia that she recommended for it. So like she's going out of her way to help this guy.
Yeah.
You just got to be really careful who you invite around your house.
And you got to be firm with your parents that you love, with the elders in your life. You know, I mean, you want to be respectful of her judgment and her wishes, but as a kid, how do you let your parent?
Yeah.
How do you stand by and give them that leeway?
And you know what? This could be. I mean, it's a horrible story. I wish it didn't happen, but it did happen. You could use this story as conversational leverage with maybe somebody in your life that you love who may not be seeing things clearly right now or willing to listen to reason.
The cautionary tale.
And you say, hey, you know what? This is just came across. I just want you to see this because this is the thing that we're thinking about with
you.
And we care. Yeah, this is horrible. Awful story. Let's move on to happier things. Let's get to the text messages. Those are always wonderful. We love those. Send them in. We'll read some. We'll be right back.
She's local.
I grew up in Olympia.
She's experienced.
I've been very lucky to be in Seattle for 23 years.
Now, Manda Factor is home on KIRO News Radio.
This is where I want to be. It's where I've always wanted to be.
Experience matters. Experience for yourself. Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor. Every morning 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic is your best plan for long-term well-being and personalized health care. Dr. Mixon, let me ask you a question. How long have some of your patients been working with you?
And we've got patients now that have been with us for over 20 years that are in their 90s who came to us in their 60s. The grandparents now in their 90s are living independently. They're not on walkers. They're not on canes. They're not headed for nursing homes.
I meet people and they ask about, wow, you're in great shape. You have 12% body fat and stuff. What's the secret? I said, it's not a secret. Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for 25 years. There is no secret to the fact that if you make those small changes, you avoid avoid the big, bad, horrible stuff that most of us just think, well, this is what's supposed to happen to me.
And if you're heading downhill and you don't change your direction, you're going to continue going downhill. And what we do at Longevity is we redirect you and we take you back up the hill.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through April 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended through April 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, I want to tell you a sellwithwes.com success story. Wes Jones knows how important your home sale can be for your future plans. So when he got a call from Susan in Federal Way, he was eager to step up and help her sell her home of 25 years.
Her house was her biggest asset, and this home sale was super meaningful for her. So she's like, I know that I'm leaving money on the table in the condition that it's in. Like, what can we do?
I told him up front that I did not have the time or finances to do what needed to be done. And he immediately jumped in with, well, I do.
He told her about their Listing Boost concierge service.
And we identified probably 4 or 5 major things.
It just was all so fast. They did everything.
I'm a son of a builder, and I've done a lot of flips over the years. So this is work that we actually like to do. We are seeking this out.
And I would just tell anybody, here's his phone number, give him a call. He'll take care of it.
So if you're in the market to sell your home, do what Susan did. Check out Wes Jones and his team at sellwithwes.com. Sell with Wes, a better way to sell your home.
All right, keep up. It's me, the radar gun at T-Mobile Park. And these Mariners pitchers have me working overtime. 3 all-star aces, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, and George Kirby throwing absolute gas.
Holy smokes, what a performance. Strikeout number 10 on the night.
And don't forget about Bryce Miller and Brian Wu, the young guns. Those guys get me fired all the way up.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
And just when you think you've survived, here comes Andres Munoz dialing up triple digits and shutting the door. Oh boy, I'm giddy just thinking about it.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and the ball game is over.
Trust me, you're going to want to grab a seat and feel the speed for yourself. And there they go again. I got to make sure my batteries are charged. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Check out what's on deck at T-Mobile Park. Mother's Day weekend is coming up May 9th to 11th, and a Mariners game is the perfect place to celebrate. As part of the fun, the first 10,000 moms will score a clear purse on Sunday the 11th, thanks to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Then don't miss a showdown against the Yankees May 12th to 14th. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Guys, thinking about testosterone replacement therapy? Revive Men's Health can help you get started if you're ready to book your free T-check. Visit revivemenshealth.com. That's Revive, REVIBE, menshealth.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Cars for Kids, your trusted charity for car donations, also accepts donations of boats, RVs, motorcycles, and real estate. Call today, 877-CARS4KIDS.
Andy, how does it feel to win the summer?
Feels real good, Holly. Like a lush lawn.
Let's talk about the dandelions. How did you beat those?
It's a team effort here. My tech Danny from Weedman came in for the weed control assist.
What's next?
We're talking fertilization, aeration. There's a lot in store.
There you have it. It's Weed Man for the win. Visit weedman.com for a free quote and save 50% on your first service with promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the show. We got your text messages we get to read now, which is always a fun part of our day. We enjoy it a great deal. Thank you also for everybody who was participating on the Jake and Spike Show live YouTube page. It's a lot of fun. We try to chat there as well. Make sure you subscribe to that too and share it and send it to your friends. We have a competition going here, trying to be the most watched YouTube page in the building. That actually means something to us. So if you're not busy and you just want to subscribe to something or send it around or tell people to watch it, make it a daily thing for you. You don't even have to watch it. Just turn it on in the background. We don't care. All right. A lot of stuff to get to. Text messages. Laura, why don't you start us off?
On a beer tax, Sarah in Kirkland says, "Hey, Jake and Spike, I work for a Seattle craft brewery. This tax lacks nuance. That's hard to say. There's no discernment between the tax being applied to a macro brewery that has deep pockets versus a microbrewery who are all struggling to survive. It's been an extremely rough few years trying to bounce back from COVID to these tariffs, and now more and more taxes. We are hurting."
Thank you, Sarah. That's an interesting perspective, and I think she's completely right on.
Agreed. Pat in Mukilteo says, "Thanks, guys, for telling about this ridiculous excise tax proposal. I've been a brewer in the state for 25 years, and I've never seen anything so egregious."
Thanks, Pat. And all the best of luck to anybody, any brewers out there, any microbrewers. Send us your contact. I would like to follow up with you all. Cody from Montesan?
I forgot the O.
Montesano.
Oh, Montesano. All right.
Sorry.
Just look at the spirit tax they already passed a few years ago that killed distilleries. Totally right.
John in Kirkland says, "As a retired small business owner, Washington State has always unfairly taxed small local businesses. Big companies get breaks, little companies, not so much."
Big companies have leverage. They'll leave town. I mean, it's an ugly reality of the situation. And the beer you're drinking on this sunny Tuesday, Rick and Breyer says, "I don't drink alcohol, but I do go by Thomas Kemper if I'm ever over in Paulsville and grab a fresh root beer or cream soda fresh out of the wooden barrels." Oh, my God, they've got great root beer.
Fresh Thomas Kemper sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty nice. All right, let's see here. On the Kraken shakeup, 206 says, Kraken went to the playoffs and even won their first game in the playoffs, all in their second year as a new team with Haskell. That offseason, they got rid of top players from the playoff team, and ever since they've been struggling. Who messes with the team that was doing great? They made it worse, and this is another losing season and another fired coach. Their GM and all the wrong Their GM made all the wrong moves, and now Kraken are struggling. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If Kraken management, players they got rid of after the playoff season are doing great on their new teams. That's always a curse of any team, any player that comes out of Seattle. It's like we just farm team for all these wonderful. Yeah, go ahead.
On taxing the rich, 425 says, "Why should Jeff Bezos have to pay for everybody?"
Good question.
We'll disagree. David in Shoreline says, "Those who benefit the most from our capitalism should also contribute the most for the betterment of others, period."
Thank you, David. Let's see here. Braden in Snohomish says, "Billionaires are not responsible for the rest of the world, period. Would it be nice if they gave up some of their incredible wealth? Sure. But they do not owe anyone anything. They put in the work, they came up with a business idea, etc. Why should they not reap the benefits? So tired of the left acting like billionaires owe the world money solely because they're rich." Thank you, Braden. Appreciate the thoughts.
On the not-so-drunk college kid in Iowa.
It's got a big reaction from folks.
Oh, yeah. Steve-O says those cops were not doing their jobs. They were being bullies to a young man.
Very interesting.
Matt in Seattle says, "Hope he sues them for a ton of money. Sounds like yet another government employee on a power trip abusing their power."
These cops do seem like they are after a very specific result that they're not getting, and so they're just trying to figure out how to get it.
Why are you shaking? Because I'm standing here in shorts and it's cold and raining. That's why I'm shaking. Why you look nervous? Because I got 3 cops grilling me on the side of the road.
Yeah, because I'm like 19 and I'm getting a ticket or worse. We've got a lot of reaction to that. I'm supporting him. I'm thinking he's going to get a payday, would be my guess, in his lawsuit against the city.
The judge ruled that he's allowed to sue the city.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a payday.
Yeah.
But I do think he was kind of a little brat.
Cautionary tale. Yeah,
absolutely. And then finally, on our YouTube live stream, Rick from Bothell says, "Plug the YouTube more. It's great. I'm retired, and I listen/watch on my TV via my Apple TV with the YouTube app. Tell Curly I turn it off at 3. Just kidding. He's better listened to on the radio. Does he even know what YouTube is? That's from, those are kind of harsh, Rick.
John Curley is a visual treat.
Is he as visually treaty as we are? No, obviously.
Well,
not.
2 for the price of 1 with you guys. Come on. Easy math there.
3 for the price of 1.
Laura.
With Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a girl.
Take that.
Leon Musk, that's funny, from the YouTube live chat. Who gets the credit for suggesting the move to YouTube? They need to get an attaboy.
I think it was Laura.
Was it your idea?
Good job,
It was
Laura.
me many moons ago.
Yeah, well done.
Laura, good job,
Atta-girl.
Laura. Atta-girl. And attaboy for anyone out there listening. Atta-girl for Laura and attaboy for anyone listening on YouTube. We appreciate you listening and watching us. All right, we hope you have a great day. John Curley's coming up next. Give him a listen. And for us, we got to go. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Remembering Pope Francis.
The Pope died this morning, a day after making his last public appearance on Easter Sunday.
Local reaction.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live outside St. James Cathedral in the First Hill neighborhood.
I've seen Son perform a sign of the cross. I just said some prayers right away.
When I think of the word humility, that is something that he fully embraced.
Coverage continues.
It's been 20 years since we've had the death of a reigning pope.
On KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens has given me back clear vision. They've performed over 80,000 successful lens replacement surgeries. At Sharp Vision, you'll get the best price combined with the best experience. Sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E, -vision.com.
The preseason AC sale is on now at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. This month only, keep your home cool and your wallet comfortable with 15% off. Plus, free financing on all air conditioners, heat pumps, and ductless systems. Trust the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest and call Bob's today for your free estimate. Hurry, the discount reduces to 10% off in May. Call Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors